summit with Kim Jong-un ended abruptly with no agreement. North Korea has pulled its staff out of a liaison office that had been set up with South Korea amid the diplomacy aimed at getting Kim to give up his nukes. But lately, there are reports North Korea has been ramping up its nuclear activity. In New Zealand, an outdoor prayer service a week after the massacres in two Christchurch mosques.
New Zealand mourns with you. We are one.
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Thousands of people also gathered for a mass funeral burying 26 of the 50 people murdered in those attacks. The accused gunman is behind bars. This is Fox News.
In Chicago this morning, we have mostly clear skies. Temperatures will stay cool for the day. 37 right now at 5:02 on AM 560. The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. The Department of Children and Family Services is investigating a caseworker who had described as safe a 2-year-old boy who was later found dead in a Chicago home. 2-year-old Jahir Gibbons died at a nearby hospital after he was found unresponsive with injuries Monday night at that Southside home. That has led to charges being filed against his mother and babysitter. An interim director for DCFS says the caseworker had been to the home just days before Jahir died, is being investigated for allegedly submitting contradictory reports about that visit. Chicago judge is expected to rule later today on whether to let R. Kelly travel overseas to perform concerts to help the cash-strapped singer pay some legal bills and other bills that he faces following sex abuse charges. The hearing today follows a defense motion saying the 52-year-old singer hopes to do 5 April concerts in Dubai. Traffic is moving normally through O'Hare after a bomb squad had to check out a suspicious package late last night. Police responded at around 9 p.m. after the unattended package was reportedly left curbside outside of a terminal. That brought vehicle and pedestrian traffic to a halt and also halted service on the CTA's Blue Line. A man is under arrest this morning following an hours-long barricade situation in Chicago late on Thursday. Police responded to a report of gunfire on South Brandon Avenue shortly before 3 p.m. SWAT team was then called in, and that standoff went on for about 6 hours. And then the man began firing at officers, but ultimately the ordeal ended peacefully with no injuries, according to police. Chicago mayoral candidates Lori Lightfoot and Tony Preckwinkle participated in another raucous debate last night. During the debate on Channel 11, Lightfoot defended herself after Chance the Rapper endorsed Preckwinkle and suggested the former federal prosecutor did not protect the interest of young black people. She has worked tirelessly, she says, on police reforms, and Preckwinkle was forced to duck questions about her campaign's decision to stop airing TV ads because they are reportedly out of money. A judge has delayed sentencing for a man accused of plotting to bomb a Chicago bar after lawyers said the government may have withheld evidence that could have helped the defense. Federal Judge Sharon Coleman postponed the sentencing to allow Adel Daoud's lawyers more time to seek additional information. Daoud was arrested in 2012. He maintains his innocence, but took an unusual step last November, acknowledging that prosecutors had enough evidence to convict him. A prominent Chicago alderman who told a judge last year that he would not accept a plea agreement that was planned for his federal corruption case has changed his mind again and pleaded guilty. Alderman Willie Cochran entered his plea Thursday to 1 count of wire fraud and spending campaign funds on personal purchases like gambling and his daughter's college tuition. The bookkeeper for an Arlington Heights dentist is accused of stealing more than $500,000 from her boss. Karen Ursudo and her husband Scott have been charged with aggravated identity theft, and financial fraud. Prosecutors say the defendants have been stealing from that dentist since 2009. A fire at a maintenance building at a municipal airport in DeKalb caused an estimated $250,000 in damage. Airport manager Tom Cleveland tells us so far this morning the fire has not impacted operations. Metra is looking to buy at least 200 new rail cars. Commuter rail officials are seeking hundreds of cars compatible with its diesel locomotives. On average, the age of their current rail cars is 30. However, some are over 60 years old. Illinois lawmakers are looking at 4 possible options for legal sports betting in the state. An endangered eastern black rhinoceros at the Lincoln Park Zoo is pregnant. The 13-year-old female, Kapuki, is expected to give birth to her calf in May, an 85-pound calf. Blackhawks unable to capitalize on moving up in the Western Conference playoff race with a 3-1 loss to Philly. They can move up in the standings with a home-and-home with Colorado up next. Big dance, 16 teams advanced to round 2 on Thursday. Notable upsets, 12-seeded Murray State over Marquette. 10-seeded Minnesota beat Louisville, and fellow 10-seed Florida trimmed Nevada. The Big Ten 5-0, Illinois' only team, one and done. Bradley lost to Michigan State, where head coach Brian Wardell says his team had to battle against a great team.
Very proud of them. Like I said, Michigan State's a very good team. They were composed. Game was tight with 6 minutes to go, and they made some big shots in key moments, and we just weren't able to connect on those same shots.
Elijah Child scored 19 to lead the Braves. They finished 20-14. Several news outlets this morning are reporting Nebraska head basketball coach Tim Miles will be out when the Huskers are eliminated from the NIT. Program is under evaluation by the AD, and who will take over at Nebraska? Former Iowa State and former Bulls coach Fred Hoiberg. Lincoln native is the front runner to replace Tim Miles at Nebraska. The news service of Credit Karma. Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app. Credit Karma, here's to progress. 5:08 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder just wants the media to be honest.
His fellow Republicans to think seriously about the president's mental condition and psychological state.
This is news. Some are saying the president's mental stability is in question. Some who? You wonder why people think it's fake news? Because it is. Some people are questioning the president's mental stability. Who? Name names.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the buy one, get one free paint sale at Ace, our biggest paint sale of the year. Buy a gallon of our top paint brands like Valspar and Clark & Kensington and get the second free. And you know what else is free? Our help. With the Ace Extra Mile Promise, get everything you need to paint in one trip or deliveries free. Don't miss the buy one, get one free paint sale. Now through Monday, only at Ace. Limit 2, delivery subject to availability. Visit acehardware.com for more details.
Napa know-how.
Right now, only at Napa, AAA members get a 20% discount. So you can avoid getting stranded on the side of the road by picking up some quality parts like batteries, brake pads, and more. Meaning you can prevent the problem before it ever becomes a problem. Bravo! That's 20% off for AAA members. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 3/31/19.
Improving your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at the Westin North Shore Hotel in Wheeling with free admission and free parking. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home inside and out. This year's show is larger than ever, featuring experts in kitchen and bath remodeling, windows, siding and doors, landscaping, lawn and tree care, flooring, painting, heating and air, and even solar power and green energy systems. Plus, save big on the latest trend in quality patio furniture and accessories at the By the Yard booth, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at the West and North Shore in Wheeling on Milwaukee Avenue and Lake Cook Road with free admission and free parking. For details, visit homeshownorthshore.com. That's homeshownorthshore.com.
Pet parents trust Invisible Fence brand with their pets. Their Consumer Digest awarded Boundary Plus technology is guaranteed to protect your pet from escaping while providing them the freedom they deserve. Visit invisiblefence.com to learn more. That's invisiblefence.com.
5:11. And let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Al.
Here's a look at traffic. Let's start out with the Dan Ryan inbound. It is shut down between 79th and 71st because of a shooting investigation. Inbound then at 79th, the entrance ramp is closed. It's also closed at 75th. Outbound Ryan from Taylor to Roosevelt is stop and go from an earlier accident there. We've got no delays on the Edens, 19 either way from Lake Hook to the Kennedy Junction. Kennedy in or out just 20 minutes between O'Hare and downtown. Eisenhower either way from 390 to the Circle, about a 29-minute trip. And Stevenson in or out is 34 between 355 and Lakeshore Drive. Bishop Ford inbound in Michigan on-ramp closed for a few more minutes. That's traffic. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
After a cloudy start, sunshine today, high 43. It'll be clear tonight, low 26. Sunny skies tomorrow, high 48. Cloudy with a shower on Sunday, and the high again at 48. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
37 at O'Hare, 35 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 5:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour Radio Show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. What happened to parity in men's college basketball, turning mid-majors laying an egg yesterday, turning my bracket into
a hot mess?
Hashtag March Sadness.
Oh, Danny boy.
I said yesterday it was going to be either the winning bracket or the worst bracket ever assembled. It is shaping up to be the latter. I need to run the table today just to have the worst first round I've ever had.
In your life? Yeah, well, we got the standings here at work because we have our own bracket. Guess who number one is? Anybody want to take a guess?
Justin.
Mike Scott, you want to take a guess?
Oh, Mike Scott, if he's in it.
It would be me, I think.
You are
Of
number
course.
one.
I should have listened to the wisdom of Mike Scott. He was talking about it yesterday.
You should have.
There's separation, cream rising to the top, favorites are going to win.
Yep.
I can't believe there's basically one upset. I mean, Murray State's a mild upset.
Wofford.
Mild. Wofford's it was a higher seed.
Oh, I put Wofford down.
Yeah.
It was a higher seed than Seton Hall.
It was a high seed. You're right.
LSU Yale was the bracket buster, I think, for everybody. Didn't you put Yale down?
Yeah, but a lot of people picked LSU. That wasn't it. There was no bracket buster here. It's just there's no upsets.
No upsets at all.
Well, who's going to watch the Iowa game today at 11:15?
I don't even care anymore.
Well, here's the thing. So, Dan, you have you're in 5th place. One hot chick named, Amy Jacobson's in 2nd. Justin's in 3rd, and Quinn McCarthy's in 4th. So,
right.
I mean,
I'm getting hammered by a guy who
Jonah.
drives a skateboard to work. That's great.
Other bracket busters, 5th and 6th grade girls basketball. Just real quick, Disney upset the number 1 seed Waters, just in case.
What the hell are you talking about?
This other bracket.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now we play Disney in the Final Four. Tickets go on sale at 9 o'clock this morning. To Paul. We're playing at the Paul, folks.
Walt's
Gotta fill up this.
Walt's going to raise from the grave, wear a skirt, cheer for you guys.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, his
Well, let me see your
severed,
bracket.
cryogenically frozen head will be sitting courtside.
Right.
Can I see your bracket?
No.
Oh, my God. Get your hands off my bad bracket.
Yeah. What do you want to see?
I just want to see what you have for today. Do you have Iowa beating you have Cincinnati beating Iowa?
No, like the rest of the nation, I have Cincinnati beating Iowa.
Did you pick Liberty today?
I did. I picked Liberty beating Mississippi State.
So did I, but I mean that means they're going to
I'm not even sure that's an upset. Liberty's playing really well.
Well, did you see the Michigan State Bradley game? Bradley was up at halftime,
They were.
and Izzo went off on that freshman. Did you see the players he went off on him when he's standing up, and then he sat down, and then he lunged at him again, and all the players had to hold him back. What did he do? I mean, I saw he was walking, not running back.
I don't know what he did, but that's why you have senior leadership on a team, because it was Cassius Winston that actually took control of that.
He
huddle
stepped
at that
inside. He stepped in between Izzo.
Yeah.
Izzo's great.
He's the best.
I mean, Izzo at the Michigan State, that's a good program. Judd Heathcote to Tom Izzo. I mean, there's just continuity, stability, good coaching.
Yep.
To compare and contrast that with, like, say, I don't know, the Illini, who can't keep Ethan Happ at home, who can't keep Admiral Schofield at home.
I know.
I mean, we watched the NCAA tournament if for no other reason than to look at all of the Chicago players that are leading teams to the Final Four, as they've been doing for the better part of the last decade. I mean, when did Illinois last go to the tournament? 2013? I think so.
Underwood's first year, was it 2014? Underwood's first year, maybe?
I mean,
maybe 13?
It's remarkable how bad. So Bradley gets bounced, and they're a terrible team. Bradley gets bounced. No Illinois universities in the NCAA.
None are left. None are left in the NIT either.
And by the way, Chris Collins, all the fanfare he came in with, he's on notice, finishing last in the Big Ten this year at Northwestern.
Especially if Tim Miles getting fired today or tomorrow at Nebraska. So
yeah, and then Fred Hoiberg's he's in contention
has
for that job.
Yeah, well, the mayor's back, huh? After his wonderful foray with the Bulls, although he wasn't getting much help from the front office either. How John Paxson and Gar Foreman survived. Oh, I know. Ryan Reinsdorf's legendary loyalty. Blah, 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 blah. I hate basketball. I hate sports.
Come on,
I had the worst first half of the first round of my life, and I want to go home and cry. This is supposed to be the best 2 days in sports, and now I might as well watch daytime soap operas.
Well, wait, do you have anything?
Go cuddle up with Frank the Tank, and you'll be fine.
No, I have nothing. I have, I mean,
A little bit of hope there in your little pocket?
No, well,
Look at how cute.
I mean, if I run the table, I also lost 2 Sweet 16 teams yesterday.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Belmont, which should have beat Maryland. I mean,
Yeah, they should have.
Gave that game away. And
I picked Maryland.
I mean, I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. I just have such antipathy for Bill Self, and I think Kansas is always such a soft team. I pick Northeastern.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You picked Northeastern?
Northeastern's a decent mid-major team.
Why all this hate for Bill Self?
Oh, come on.
Look, he has been the best coach the Illini maybe have ever had since Lou left. So there you go.
Coach
Meaning
Pearl.
the Illini have never had a good bench coach, is what you're trying to say.
Good recruiters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Bruce Pearl is back.
Yeah, barely. Auburn almost.
Auburn.
That was
'Cause I
terrible.
still looking at it, I know him. Oh, that's
Auburn
Coach
beat
Pearl.
Tennessee twice. Okay, so they've got Tennessee's numbers.
That New Mexico State
Number.
Aggies should have won.
Well, they shouldn't have won. They should have been blown out.
Well, he had an open shot, an uncontested shot, a layup, and he kicks it back out to the guy on the three-point line.
Yeah,
that
but
was so stupid.
That's totally missing the point. You call yourself a basketball coach?
Yeah,
But they're
I
up.
am.
They were outscored 24-10 in the last 4 minutes, turning the ball over, stupid fouls, missed free throws. That last 4 minutes tells you that Auburn team is not particularly well coached. Bruce Pearl, also, jacked. Was a rat in U of I.
Yeah, I know. He was in Iowa at the time.
Exactly.
Very familiar with the
Yeah,
situation.
typical Iowa. You can't trust him for a second.
Well,
Stick a shiv right in your back.
He ran Tennessee into the ground.
Yes, he did.
no favors for Wisconsin and Milwaukee.
He also
but he survives.
He leaves a trail behind him wherever
he is oleaginous. He does.
Yeah.
Just you watch him and he's just yeah. There's film wherever he was standing last.
He reminds me of a used car salesman, I have to tell you. Because
awful.
he's always selling it. He's always closing. He's always,
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time with him at Iowa.
I'm so glad Charles Barkley's alma mater made it. My bracket's even worse than Charles Barkley's.
All right,
That's
what
how
was
bad
your
it
favorite commercial?
Oh, my gosh. What commercials?
The Bud Light, Miller Lite commercials, that's approaching legendary status.
That is.
It really is. It really is fun. It's fun. It's a good distraction. It's
now
fun.
Now we're comparing.
We're
comparing a great sporting event to the Super Bowl of all things.
Well, it used to be a great sport event. There's almost too many teams in it anymore. 68.
No. I don't like
couldn't get enough
games either.
Yep.
You know how you have on your cable box or on your remote, you can press a button and say go to, True TV or go. Do you have that feature on your remote?
A voice remote.
Yeah, your voice remote.
Yeah.
Do you have that, Dan?
I don't know.
I was doing
use
this
the regular remote.
Go to a real NCAA game because the games last night were so boring.
Yeah.
I want to see some real basketball.
Yeah.
Somebody's sad. They're in last place.
We'll have real basketball at the United Center where 5th and 6th grade girls are going to be playing from Lakeview or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to beat Disney. Tickets go on sale at 9 a.m. at Ticketmaster. We need to fill the stands.
Go Blaine, beat Disney. That's where we're at.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology or frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart, Pep Boys, Amazon, and other fine retailers.
It is March Madness. We were just talking about it. And as many of you know, that means allergy season. And our friends at Balance of Nature have an incredible Madness in March discount that you'll want to take advantage of that I'll tell you about in just a few seconds. But first, I've got to tell you about Balance of Nature. Think of it this way, 10 servings of fruits and veggies in a single capsule. And we all know how important getting your daily dose of fruits and vegetables is, especially when it comes to staying healthy this spring. Don't wait until you start feeling sick to take Balance of Nature. Boost your immune system right now, just like I'm doing, and get Balance of Nature today. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He showed me the emails, played the voicemails from real people who are taking Balance of Nature and feeling better and living healthier lives, and that can be you too. And today only, when you go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code AMYJ4, AMY, the letter J, the number 4, all one word, and you'll receive 50% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Wow, that's a great deal. Promo code AMYJ4, AMYJ4, 50% off your first order of Balance of Nature. Or call 800-246-8751. Tell them the promo code AMYJ4 for 50% off your first order of Balance of Nature.
On April 5th, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get in my way.
Well, I'm going to get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters April 5th.
Spring is in the air, but if you've got school-aged kids, then you should already be thinking about back-to-school season this fall, and you should consider sending your child to a private school at half the regular cost, thanks to halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find local private schools from all over Chicagoland, offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price with no catch. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, prepare to send your child off to school. It's that simple. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located across Chicagoland, including Westminster Christian in Elgin, Kingswood Academy in Darien, Calvin Christian in South Holland, Covenant Christian in Aurora, Lake County Baptist in Waukegan, Faith Evangelical Lutheran in Antioch. Make private school affordable for your family for the first time this year. These vouchers will sell out. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Tony on the south side. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Oh, hold on, Tony. All right, now you are.
Hey, I'm here, guys. Listen. Oh, good morning, Dan and Amy, my little lamb chop.
Hi, honey.
Listen. Hey, how you been? Listen,
hey,
Dan, I'm so sorry that your brackets will up on you, but, in a way I'm not. We just find better ways of spending the first half hour of your show than talk about some national waste of time. So unproductive, man. It just drains real productive people of getting things done. I mean, geez, guys, come on. Let's talk about something more important, like, I don't know, Trump whining about John McCain. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
We have a 4-hour show, Tony.
Yeah, let's not waste our time.
Tony, you didn't fill out a bracket?
We need to be talking about George Conway. Yeah.
Hey, I'm out there trying to be productive and not worry about
Really? What do you do? What did you do while I was watching basketball? What did you do yesterday?
I got things to do.
What'd you do?
What did you do?
I got things to do.
Wait, Tony, you're telling me you did not? You're probably the only man in America. You did not fill out one bracket.
Oh gosh, no.
Not today's America.
Yeah, in my circles, we don't hang with those kind of people. Not that there's anything wrong with them. That's not what we do. We don't play brackets. Our
you
things
take
like
the
horse
action.
racing and
Yeah.
Absolutely, you get me. All right, buddy. Hey, sorry, Dan.
Thanks,
I
Tony. I appreciate the commiseration.
Since 8th grade, my sister has been calling my nephew in sick for the first day of March Madness. And she is not alone. She said if you get A's and B's, and he never misses school, but he has March Madness sickness on the first day of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think that's all right. I mean, she's not a bad parent. She's a great mom. And that's the one thing. Get A's and B's, and sure, you can have that day off. But he had kind of an open house yesterday, so people stopped by during lunch to watch the game.
Here's another sports story of interest. This the intersection between college sports and the admissions scandal. Lauren Isaacson admitted to UCLA as an athletic recruit in 2016. Her parents are among those who've been charged who aren't famous. Her parents conspired with UCLA to bribe the soccer coach to pass her off as a recruit. She did not play competitive soccer, though. She joined the UCLA women's soccer program in 2017 alongside members of the U.S. and Canadian national teams. This is great. Yeah.
So she joined? She actually won on the field?
She was listed as an honorable mention all-league selection in 2014 for the West Bay Athletic League in Northern California, but even that was false.
The West Bay Athletic League, that sounds pretty...
Made it up.
Made it up, yeah. The Chicago Shoreline Soccer Club. Yeah, you can make things up.
She was given good old number 41 jersey, 2017, on a team of all-stars and pros in waiting. Her fellow freshmen were heralded as the second best recruiting class in the nation.
Oh, my God.
She's on this team. Oh, this is great. It just goes on and on. And again, the media just describes her as a practice player.
Oh, my goodness.
Her UCLA biography states her greatest athletic thrill did not come on the soccer field, but on horseback when she became champion of her riding division 2 years in a row. She's not currently on the team's roster, but she is still a student at UCLA.
Oh, she is. They haven't kicked her out. I don't think they haven't kicked anybody out. The kid in Wake Forest, he's still there.
I think Iowa.
Just people are self-deporting, if you know what I mean.
Iowa Hawk had the great idea about this. For Laura Isaacson, her punishment should be she should be forced to be a midfielder for 4 years at UCLA. Every game, every minute of every game.
Oh, she couldn't keep up.
I love that idea. Oh, you row crew? You play soccer? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be out there. Jim in Crown Point, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I just have one quick thing. Newt Gingrich made a fantastic comment. He said, Beto O'Rourke is the Kardashian version of the Kennedys.
Wow, there's layers to that. Okay, thanks for the call, Jim.
Idiot.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I guess per Tony on the South Side, we have to get to important things like the Conway's marriage at 5:38.
And it's not a second chance, but a second choice for Chance the Rapper. We'll explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
37 degrees. European Union will give the UK a little more time to pass a negotiated deal to leave the EU. The UK is scheduled to break with the EU on March 29th. President of the European Council now says the Brexit date extension will be extended out to May 22nd. Immigration authorities say the man accused of killing a Washington state sheriff's deputy earlier this week was in the U.S. illegally. ICE says the 29-year-old suspect entered the country on a temporary agricultural worker visa. Kittitas County Sheriff's Deputy Ryan Thompson was killed, another police officer wounded in a shootout. The Powerball jackpot is soaring. No big winner Wednesday night. Saturday's drawing worth at least $625 million. The former head of Fiat Chrysler's arm of the UAW will plead guilty to a conspiracy charge next week. Detroit News reporting Norwood Jewell is the latest official to be caught up in a federal probe of unions surrounding the U.S. auto industry. President Trump says the U.S. will fully recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu elated by the news.
President Trump has just made history. I called him. I thanked him on behalf of the people of Israel. He did it again.
The president tweeting out that the region is of critical, strategic, and security importance to Israel and the region. A Wisconsin judge blocking a series of Republican laws aimed at limiting the power of the new Democrat governor. Immediately after yesterday's ruling was announced, Wisconsin's Democrat Governor Tony Evers and the Attorney General of that state asked federal judges to withdraw Wisconsin from a multi-state lawsuit against Obamacare. However, Republicans say the ruling will be appealed to the Wisconsin Supreme Court, where conservatives have a majority. The Department of Children and Family Services in this state investigating the caseworker who had described as safe a 2-year-old boy who was later found dead in a Chicago home. A man is under arrest after an hours-long barricade situation in Chicago Thursday. Police responded around 3 p.m. to South Brandon Avenue. The standoff went on for about 6 hours. Folks in northeast Wisconsin have the best shot to see the northern lights over the weekend. Forecasters say people as far south as Chicago may get a glimpse at the northern lights, but cloud cover could make it tough. Sky gazers say the light show will be visible tonight and tomorrow. Blackhawks unable to capitalize on moving up in the Western Conference playoff race after a 3-1 loss to Philadelphia. Big dance, 16 teams advanced to round 2 on Thursday. Notable upsets include the 12-seed Murray State over Marquette and the 10-seed Minnesota over Louisville. The Big Ten 5-0. 5:34 on AM 560. It is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal 800-421-SEAL. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
And you know my beverage of choice is tequila.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Per doctor's orders, no lie. I went in to have a doctor's appointment a couple years ago, telling my doctor about my tummy, my gut issues. He said, how about tequila? He said, tequila's better for your stomach. And swear to God, true story. Now, that was about 2 years ago. Son of a gun, I love it.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right before Larry Elder at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the buy one, get one free paint sale at Ace, our biggest paint sale of the year. Buy a gallon of our top paint brands like Valspar and Clark & Kensington and get the second free. And you know what else is free? Our help. With the Ace Extra Mile Promise, get everything you need to paint in one trip or deliveries free. Don't miss the buy one, get one free paint sale. Now through Monday, only at Ace. Limit 2, delivery subject to availability. Visit acehardware.com for more details.
Napa know-how.
Right now, only at Napa, AAA members get a 20% discount. So you can avoid getting stranded on the side of the road by picking up some quality parts like batteries, brake pads, and more. Meaning you can prevent the problem before it ever becomes a problem. Bravo! That's 20% off for AAA members. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 3/31/19.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
It is 5:37. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here's Alverde.
Here's a look at traffic on the Dan Ryan. We've still got inbound shut down between 79th and 71st because of a shooting investigation. The inbound ramps from 79th and 75th are shut down as a result. And 57 inbound, that's backing up now from Halstead because of that. Bishop Ford inbound is backing up from King Drive. In the meantime, on the Edens, we have no delays, 19 either way between Lake Cook and the Kennedy Junction. Kennedy's still in great shape, 20 in or out from O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower just 29 either way between 390 and the Burns Circle. Stevenson 355 to Lakeshore Drive, still just 34 minutes. That's traffic. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. We'll have clouds to begin the day. Sunshine returns for the afternoon, but a high only of 43. Currently 37. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, I guess we're 10 days away from municipal elections. See if anybody's paying attention. And I'm not just talking about the Chicago's mayor's race, but I am also talking about the Chicago mayor's race, even though that race is over. As we reported earlier this week, Tony Preckwinkle has conceded. So playing out the string here, but I guess she's got an endorsement that means something. So it's worth, what the Tribune endorsement is worth maybe, half a percentage point? I guess Chance the Rapper's probably worth more than that.
Yeah, and he came forward yesterday, but keep in mind his dad works on her re-election campaign.
Yeah, probably.
I want everybody to know the truth, and the truth is that the most qualified person in terms of somebody that's going to look out for all the people of Chicago is Tony Preckwinkle, so I'm fully behind him.
Pretty tepid.
But here's the thing. He gave a ton of money to Amara Enya. Or her. Mm-hmm. And they asked, like, you going to be ponying up some cash, big guy?
I don't have any more money for Chicago politics.
So who cares?
And why he's choosing Tony over Lori?
The resounding voice has been that they don't necessarily feel comfortable or safe going into a city where Lori Lightfoot sits on the 5th floor.
And he gave Amara, by the way, $400,000.
I don't know what that means. They feel safe with Tony
know.
Preckwinkle sitting on the fifth floor. How have they felt for the last 30 years as she's been sitting on her ass in the city council and now the Cook County Board president?
And accomplished nothing. One thing to note, though, President Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama,
Heard of him.
he is not endorsing Tony Preckwinkle. Little birdie told.
Wow.
Well, they were trying to get his endorsement for this whole time to, try to elevate her, and he's not doing it. He's going to remain neutral.
To repeat, the race for mayor of the city of Chicago remains over. 65-35, my prediction.
You think six? Okay.
Also, Chicago making international news in the only way that Chicago can make international news, which is in the worst way. This from The Guardian across the pond. Chicago's Democrat socialists on the brink of transforming city politics. Half a dozen socialists, and interestingly, socialists not necessarily controlled by the purple people beaters that own Tony Preckwinkle, SEIU. These are socialists that haven't received the backing of SEIU that Preckwinkle has enjoyed over the years. So they can be independent socialists, which is even the more dangerous strain of socialists. Reports the Guardian, as if we didn't know, but it's fun to get an outsider's perspective. And by the way, your friend there, Deb Mell, is one of 6 incumbents who's facing a socialist, basically, who is, I think more likely than not to take him out.
Oh, yeah, Deb
Michelle
Mell's
Smith,
down.
same thing. In Old Town, Michelle Smith's going to lose.
Oh, yeah.
The shock number of 6 socialists who could potentially join the city council this year comes at a time when socialism is increasingly visible in national U.S. politics, led by Bernie Sanders and, of course, AOC. The trend is happening at the local level, too, with the emergence of socialists in Chicago politics, a reflection of the progressive momentum that Rosanna Rodriguez and other socialist candidates say could transform the way the city operates. Finally, what we've been missing is central planning in Chicago.
It's actually kind of scary. I mean, I want Deb Mell to win.
Only if you're staying.
Yeah, it's scary if you're staying, right.
Verlon on the south side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Okay, I got 2 questions. I'm going to give you one, Dan. I'm going to give Amy one.
Right.
Okay, Dan.
Just give Amy both. Give Amy both of them. I don't want one.
No,
okay.
give them both to Dan.
No.
Oh, no, come on. I'm gonna split the difference. I'm gonna split the baby.
Okay.
All right,
Dad.
Dan. Do you think that since Chance the Rapper gave Tony Preckwinkle his endorsement, it re-energizes her campaign to be mayor?
No.
Okay. Amy.
One word answer, please. Yes, sir.
Do you think since Chance the Rapper switched from Miss Enya to Tony Preckwinkle, does he lose a social justice warrior like Miss Enya to a tax and spend politician like Tony Preckwinkle? Does he lose his credibility in the hood?
No, he still has his street cred, but if you watched that press conference yesterday, there was no energy at all. I mean, people are, yay. And I felt like he was forced to be up there because his dad, Ken Bennett, is in charge of Tony's
took the
campaign.
Words right out of my mouth.
Yep.
He took the words out of my mouth. It looked like somebody twisted his arm.
Yeah, he looked miserable. He looked like he was getting a root canal.
I got a question for you now, Verlon.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Can you explain the difference to me between a social justice politician and a tax and spend politician?
A social justice politician will try to change the fundamental fabric of our society for as much weight as they could, or as far as their arms could reach. A mayor can only do the city. A president can do the nation. But a tax and spend politician is just somebody that wants to go in your pocket and redistribute your wealth.
I see. So
they're the same.
No, here's what he's saying, I think. Let me see if I can summarize this. So you're saying that all poodles are dogs, but not all dogs are poodles. In other words, all social justice politicians are tax and spend politicians, but not all tax and spend politicians are social justice politicians, because the latter is folded into the former as just one feature of the former's grandiose plans to remake society, as so reported in The Guardian. Is that right?
You know what? That was almost as good as you only know what you know, but you really don't know what you know, but you only know what you know, and you really don't know that.
Well said, Verlon. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Have a
Very
good
helpful.
weekend.
Craig in Mount Greenwood.
Hey, Dan and Amy. Hey, the only encouraging thing out of this whole Lightfoot and Trepwinkle thing is that Lightfoot is like the liberal version of Trump, and then the Democrat machine there in Chicago is like the swamp, and Lightfoot is going to take and give the politicians there all a bad day, just like Trump gives all the politicians in Washington a bad day and everything like that, and basically is not part of that machine. Not in there. It's going to take in that's a good thing there. Even though I don't agree with any of her liberal stuff, but she's going to take and knock the heck out of that Democrat machine there.
Oh, well, that's a hopeful note, Craig. We'll see. But in the meantime, I think they should just get together. Since the race is over, I think they should just get together and reprise some of the great duos of the last 30 years, particularly with the musical element now. With Chance the Rapper participating in the general election. Don't you think, like, if they wore their clothes backwards and did some kind of
routine,
remember these kids? It's like they kind of have a crisscross thing going on, don't they? Tony and Lori. Yeah, I could see that.
Dad, I was just going to sing it.
No, play that. It's a little soon for me still. I'm still getting over the death of either Chris or Cross. I can't remember which.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
In today's turbulent times, professionals from a variety of industries are faced with concerns regarding workplace violence and the harm it can cause to its employees. Workplace violence can manifest in any setting and oftentimes might come without warning. The team at P4 Security Solutions can assist your organization in mitigating risks to prevent you and your employees from becoming a victim.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Doria, President and CEO of P4 Security Solutions. As a lifelong Chicagoan and security expert with over 40 years in the industry, I take pride in providing our clients a variety of security offerings to address your risks and concerns. Our security services deliver customized offerings to address threats while maintaining continuity. P4 Security Solutions, your trusted advisor for uncertain times.
Contact P4 Security Solutions when you require active shooter training, workplace violence programs, off-duty police services, security assessments, personal protection, or any other of our security solutions. Visit our website at p4secure.com or call us at 312-502-1702 for immediate response.
Coming up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers hire 2 women coaches. Wow. Take a look at those ladies.
I feel really bad for Jameis Winston.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved in during summer break. Parents, listen up. I know you want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time, we all know they need structure and to be prepared for the next school year. And that's why you should introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake County region of Wisconsin, southeast Wisconsin. They have a summer OPS program, meaning opportunities for personal success. There's 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school. And at the same time, they can be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp. I sent Peyton and Eli there last year. They loved it. We're picking out a week for this year as well. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. For more information, go to 1-800-SJ-CADET, or you can go to YouTube, type in Amy Jacobson, and you'll see it. Our visit there, and we interviewed one of the deans. It's fascinating. You should see it. Again, go to YouTube, or you can go to sjnma.org or call them. They'll answer any of your questions. You can even schedule a visit. 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the buy one, get one free paint sale at Ace, our biggest paint sale of the year. Buy a gallon of our top paint brands like Valspar and Clark & Kensington and get the second free. And you know what else is free? Our help. With the Ace Extra Mile Promise, get everything you need to paint in one trip or deliveries free. Don't miss the buy one, get one free paint sale. Now through Monday, only at Ace. Limit 2, delivery subject to availability. Visit acehardware.com for more details.
Napa know-how.
Right now, only at Napa, AAA members get a 20% discount. So you can avoid getting stranded on the side of the road by picking up some quality parts like batteries, brake pads, and more. Meaning you can prevent the problem before it ever becomes a problem. Bravo! That's 20% off for AAA members. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 3/31/19.
Hey, I'm excited to tell you about a deal on the already modestly priced MyPillow Giza Dream Bed Sheets. They use the world's best cotton called Giza, and it's grown in the region between the Sahara Desert, Mediterranean, and near the Nile River. It's ultra soft, breathable, extremely durable. It includes full 21-inch wide pillowcases that fit any pillow and deep pocket sheets that fit any mattress. And once you sleep on them, you really won't want to sleep on anything else. They are the real deal, look good, feel great, and they're a lot cheaper than Egyptian 700 thread count sheets. I know because I have a bunch. We have the Giza sheets all over the house. It's great. We use them all over. So go to mypillow.com, type Amy, AMY, into your promo code, and you'll get 30% off your order plus free shipping. Also 30% off pet beds, mattress toppers, and the MyPillow 4-pack. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Amy, mypillow.com, promo code Amy.
Message and data rates may apply.
Dan Proft here. Did you know that only 1 in 4 family businesses make a successful transition to the second generation? Not the greatest odds. Early and well-designed planning is the key to a successful transition of wealth. For estate and business succession planning, including asset protection for your family, you need to speak with the planning professionals at the Polsinelli Law Firm. Polsinelli is a national full-service law firm with over 850 attorneys in 22 cities, focusing on middle-market companies like yours. Their estate planning attorneys have worked with hundreds of clients to successfully transition wealth and the family-owned business. Contact Polsinelli and start a conversation on how they can assist you and your family. Polsinelli's Chicago office is located at 150 North Riverside Plaza in downtown Chicago. Visit them online at polsinelli.com. That's polsinelli.com. Or call attorney William Long, who's my estate planning attorney, directly at 312-873-2996. That's 312-873-2996 for William Long.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text TRY to 350-350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text TRY to 350-350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's TRY to 350-350.
It's Health Quest Radio, Chicagoland's longest-running health, news, and science show with your host, Dr. David Kolbaba.
You know, people who age slower live longer. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. We can compare your biologic age with your chronologic age to determine how fast you're aging. Just a few seconds to safely scan for those advanced glycation end products that cause premature aging. And I'll pay for your first assessment. That's right, your first one is free. Then we'll give you a few things to do and retest in 60 days. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. But you gotta call our Health Quest radio hotline at 800-794-1855. That's 800-794-1855. First one free if you make that call right now. Some conditions and restrictions do apply. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. Call 800-794-1855. It's Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I mean, I don't want to be totally negative. There's some good news coming out of Chicago, too.
What?
One is our friend Tim King and Urban Prep West have won their appeal to the Illinois State Charter School Commission, overturning Chicago's plan, CPS's plan, to shutter this high school that has done a great job, these one of two, that has done a great job educating young black men in very tough neighborhoods in the city. So that's good news, that charter school.
That's great.
Also, too, I mean, since my tournament's over, I'm looking forward to opening day now.
We're 6 days away.
Yeah, opening day is right around the corner.
Are you going?
White
you still
Sox.
Season ticket holder, all that?
I am. I was just out there earlier this week to inspect the field. Everything looks in order. Roger Bossert, the sod father, has every blade of grass at its proper length. You know, it's interesting. Despite all the fanfare associated with Wrigley, they do surveys every year. Major League Baseball does for out-of-town fans that go to ballparks. You know, not their home park. And I think it's like 5 years running, Comiskey Park, or now the G Spot, is rated the best fan experience in Major League Baseball.
Wow. I could believe it. I mean, you feel like you're in a different, it's so different from Wrigley.
It's a
the
good
food is 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
It's easier to get into the park. It's easier to leave the park.
Well, sure, because there's nobody there. That helps, but it's also a nice fan experience while you're there. And
Well, because they have things, you can throw the ball. There's things to do for kids.
And there's some new fan experiences.
Ooh, what?
Because
you're going to give me your seats this year again, right?
In the food area.
Take my kids.
Yeah. And this is, by the way, I understand it's taxpayer-funded boondoggle, and it's an awful deal. We'll talk about that another time. Let's just talk about the food now and be happy.
Okay.
New features at the G Spot: buffalo chicken fries, Nashville hot chicken sandwich, spicy shrimp wrap.
That's, you know what? That sounds good.
How about this? The buffalo chicken fries topped with shredded chicken and hot buffalo sauce, chili and cheese fries, dusted fries in Caribbean jerk.
Do you know that I gave up fries for lunch, so this conversation is very painful.
Parmesan fries.
Okay, see, we stop.
Greek, Irish, and even a dessert fry. Sweet potato drizzle with chocolate. Nutella topped with nuts and whipped cream.
I love sweet potatoes.
Chocolate. Also, how about this? Trying to attract the hipster kids.
Oh, no. What? A safe space?
Asian appetizer duo. Pan-fried pot stickers. Yeah.
Wow.
Burger and a grilled plant-based Impossible burger and an Impossible Asian appetizer duo with the pan-fried pot stickers, as I mentioned. How about this? Listen to this. You know the elotes? That's my favorite.
The what?
The elotes. The corn off the cob with the butter and the lemon and all that. Bacon popcorn and elote nuggets. Ooh. Who doesn't like a good nugget? Also, you got Antique Taco is in the lineup. So you got a whole taco area.
How many food booths are there at the G Spot?
36 of the 90 craft beers sold at the Goose Island Craft Cave.
Gosh.
Yeah. Our new flavors, representing 17 breweries making their G Spot debut. That sounds weird, but I mean, they chose guaranteed rate. Beer. All right, so reason to come out and enjoy Comiskey while you wait for Michael Kopech to come back.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Has George Conway been politically cuckolded by Trump at 6:06?
Yeah, and who really is the husband from HE double hockey sticks? But first, let's get into the newsroom, check in with news here at home and around the world. Here's the one, the only, the bracket winner so far, Mike Scott.
Yeah, just give it a day. DCFS investigating a caseworker who was home at the home of Jahir Gibbons. We'll update you on that developing story. Alderman Willie Cochran pleads guilty. He didn't want to, but he's going to. Wire fraud. Lightfoot and Preckwinkle debate on Channel 11. An Illinois lawmaker introduces sports betting options for the state, and the Blackhawks miss a big opportunity to gain ground in the playoff chase. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Syria is calling it irresponsible. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Not happy, President Trump says the U.S. will now recognize Israel's sovereignty over the disputed Golan Heights, telling Fox Business Network's Maria Bartiromo.
For years, other presidents have campaigned. They said they'd do it. This is sovereignty. This is security. This is about regional security.
It's not about Netanyahu's reelection.
No, I wouldn't even know about that.
Fox's Simon Owen has more on the Reaction Live.
Dave, in a phone call, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is said to have told President Trump, "You've made history." But the declaration is going down less well elsewhere. Israel captured the Golan Heights from Syria in 1967, and the Syrian government says President Trump's statement makes it more determined to reclaim the land through all available means. It accuses the US of blind bias toward Israel. Turkey's president calling the move unfortunate. Russia says it's irresponsible. Dave?
Simon, 2 American troops are dead in Afghanistan, but we haven't been given details as to how they were killed today. They're among the 14,000 U.S. service members still supporting the Afghan fight against the Taliban and ISIS. The man accused of murdering a Washington state sheriff's deputy and wounding a police officer was in the U.S. illegally.
Immigration Customs Enforcement says Juan Manuel Flores del Toro entered Laredo, Texas on a temporary agricultural visa in 2014. It's not clear why he opened fire on the officers who tried to pull him over this week. When he wouldn't stop, initially a pursuit began. Police say it's not clear why he drove off. There were no warrants pending for him. ICE says they have no record of him leaving the U.S. or extending his visa after it expired.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Yet another challenge to a Trump policy in court today in San Francisco. A federal judge will hear arguments in a suit that claims the administration is violating the law, returning some asylum seekers to Mexico while they wait to be allowed into the U.S. This is Fox News.
Skies are fair. We'll start with clouds and then increasing amounts of sunshine through the day. It's in your forecast. Coming up with Steve Williams in just a moment. But first at 6:02 on AM 560, The Answer, the Department of Children and Family Services in Illinois investigating a caseworker who had described as safe a 2-year-old boy later found dead in a Chicago home. 2-year-old Jahir Gibbons died at a local hospital after being found unresponsive with injuries Monday night at a Southside home. The DCFS interim director saying the caseworker who had been to that home just days before Jahir died is being investigated. Chicago judge will rule on whether to let R. Kelly travel overseas to perform several concerts to help the cash-strapped singer pay legal and other bills as he faced sex abuse charges. Chicago mayoral candidates Lori Lightfoot and Tony Preckwinkle participated in another debate last night. During that tussle on Channel 11, Lightfoot defended herself after Chance the Rapper endorsed Preckwinkle, suggesting the former federal prosecutor did not protect the interests of young black people. Preckwinkle ducked questions all night long about her campaign decision to stop airing TV ads and struggle to finance itself. Metra looking to buy at least 200 new rail cars. Currently, Metra has 848 diesel rail cars. On average, they're about 30 years old, but some of them are over 60 years old. Illinois lawmakers are looking at 4 possible options for legal sports betting in the state. One plan would let the Illinois Lottery handle the betting. The other gives sports leagues a cut of the money. The fourth option, allowing for online bets from kiosks or casinos. Blackhawks fall to the Philadelphia Flyers 3-1 and fail to move up in the Western Conference playoff chase. Big dance, 16 teams advanced to round 2. There were some notable upsets, including 12-seed Murray State over Marquette yesterday, the Big Ten going 5-0. The news, a service of Credit Karma. Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma, here's to progress. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher likes to watch the Democrats scramble.
Isn't it fascinating to watch the Democrats flailing? They are literally flailing away right now. Let's lower the voting age to 16. Let's get rid of the Electoral College. Third trimester abortions just A-OK with me, says Beto O'Rourke. I mean, it's one thing after another.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Patriot Software provides cloud-based accounting software that is super easy for business owners and powerful enough for accountants. With Patriot's accounting software, Business owners can easily invoice customers, receive payments, pay bills, and track the money in and out of their company without needing a college degree in accounting. And with Patriot Software's patent-pending cash-to-accrual toggle switch, the business's accountant can log in, view the books, and make complex entries to ensure the business has accurate financial statements. Easy but powerful. Everybody wins. Go to patriotsoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
patriotsoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Farmers Insurance, we know the sound of a perfect hot air balloon landing. And a less than perfect one. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
6:07. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Al Verde.
Here's a look at traffic. The inbound Dan Ryan remains shut down between 79th and 71st because of a shooting investigation. As a result, the entrance ramps from 79th and 75th are also blocked. 57 inbound is jam solid from Halstead as a result of that Dan Ryan closure. Bishop Ford inbound, that's stopped up from the Stony Island feeder. Delays on the Tri-State northbound from after the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, again from the Reagan to the Eisenhower, and the ramp to westbound 290, that is starting to slow. The Kennedy inbound, that's tight from Canfield to Lawrence, about 23 in from O'Hare to downtown. That's traffic. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Some clouds to start things off today, then sunshine, the high today 43. Clear tonight with the low at 26. Sunny tomorrow, high 48. Cloudy with a shower on Sunday, the high again at 48. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
36 at O'Hare. Next news at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
This Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So, as I asked before Mike Scott's newscast, has George Conway, Mr. Kellyanne Conway, I should say, has he been politically cuckolded by President Trump? Well, I'll tell you, you be the judge. Sort of a remarkable interview Kellyanne Conway gave with Maria Bartiromo yesterday, in which she addressed this straight on. It was really interesting what Kellyanne Conway had to say about President Trump being protective of her and husband George changing his tune about the president over time.
Well, my husband also has been very critical of the president publicly, which is unlike him, just because he's traditionally been a very private person. In 2016, which was known as the year of the tweet, George Conway sent exactly 0 tweets. So this is new. And what also is new is not supporting the agenda of the president and my work there, because when George took himself out of contention for a top job in the Department of Justice almost 2 years ago now, he put out a public statement that many in the media refuse to cover now, which is that we've decided as a family it's not the right time for both of us to have big jobs in the federal government, that he'll stay in the private sector, but that he still supports the president, the work of the administration, and of course his, quote, wonderful wife. So I think in their descriptions of me, what George Conway said and what Donald Trump said are the same. I appreciate the president defending what he thinks is unfairness. That I'll leave that up to him. I was raised, though, in a household of strong Italian Catholic women who taught me that you air grievances like that in private, so it is very surprising to see it be so public. Also, I just want to say that we moved here as a family. We have 4 school-age children, so you don't just, I'm their mother. I could never have just come here and been here for 2.5 years without them. So we made a decision as a family to move here. George decided he would like to do something different with his career. I totally supported that. He wanted the Solicitor General's job. That didn't work out. Then he was nominated or offered the job at the Justice Department. I've always encouraged him to go I think he'd be a fantastic judge or a law professor. And you know the firm that George works at, the highly compensated partners there. So when a wife of a partner at that firm, now he's of counsel, says, gee, go ahead and do something different, go ahead and do something different. It's great encouragement to go take a government job. Yeah. But we moved here as a family, make those decisions as a family. George was very enthusiastic about moving to D.C. at the time. But I don't talk much about this publicly because my first duty is and will always be the protection of these 4 school-age children. Of course. So I prefer not to address it.
I mean, you tell me. Was a little chilly towards husband George in that interview?
I think she's no longer torn between 2 lovers.
Torn between 2 lovers, feeling like a fool.
Yeah, I think she's chosen President Trump over her husband. And she talked, she was on the show, it sounds crazy, it's CNN's Badass Women of Washington. Yeah. I'm sure you saw it. Right, Dan? Spent time on it. And talked about, like, there's a shift in power in their relationship between her and her husband, and she's wearing the pants now.
I thought it was him being Donald J. Trump. It was clever. It's an unusual situation, especially in politics or Washington, and certainly in Republican politics, for a husband to get his notoriety and power through his wife. It's usually the other way around. It's funny because people say, Jordan, you should come to Harvard and speak, side by side, and you should do that. And I think, oh, okay, but then I'd have to give him my power.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Are you enjoying this couple as much as, say, we all as a nation enjoyed Mary Matlin and James Carville once upon a time?
I don't know. I mean, does this seem staged? President Trump came out after he had tweeted, he's the husband from hell. Then all the media again asked him about George Conway.
Well, I don't know him. I don't know him. He's a whack job. There's no question about it. But I really don't know him. I think he's doing a tremendous disservice to a wonderful wife. Kellyanne is a wonderful woman, and I call him Mr. Kellyanne. The fact is that he's doing a tremendous disservice to a wife and family. She's a wonderful woman.
I love Beltway drama, don't you? Melodrama, as the case may be. And this Twitter duel between Trump and George Conway, not exactly Hamilton Burr. I don't know, maybe Lynn Miranda can do something with it, but I can't really do much with this or get too excited about it. It is just sort of theater of the absurd, so it's somewhat entertaining.
But
and
also,
and Kellyanne Conway going on with Border Roma yesterday and being very measured, but also unmistakably chilly towards her husband was interesting. She also had a message for the D.C. press corps on the topic, and specifically the feminists within it.
You can ask George that, but I certainly have had those conversations. Just for me, I think the media is getting into a very dangerous area, though, in discussing people's marriages, which is not what's been tweeted about. And I noticed a few people yesterday as self-designated marriage experts who we clearly know are not. They are I guess they call themselves reporters, but what has happened to journalism really, where journalism has become for many people, literally their jobs are watching TV as they are right now and monitoring Twitter. And then calling themselves reporters. So people are getting dangerously close. Well, actually, some have already crossed the line. I warned about this a year ago because really until this week, this was my private life, not my professional life. George is not, he's not Bob Mueller, he's not Jeff Berman, he's not Rod Rosenstein, he's not
he's
with a TV
but he's
show.
tweeting about the
well,
president.
I'm just saying he can't effectuate, he can't act on those tweets in a way. And I don't know when the feminists are going to write the story about the unusual situation of a man getting power through his wife, but that's what we have here.
Here we go again. I want him to take my power.
She might as well have said he's impotent.
312-642-5600. Is that what you heard? But George did tweet out that President Trump has a narcissistic personality disorder, and she came out right away and said he's not a medical professional and has no right to tweet that about the president. So
yes, he also tweeted out, "You period, R period, nuts period." Also not a medical diagnosis.
No, not. Do you think these two kids are going to make it?
This just in, Trump is a bit of a narcissist. Thanks, George. I hadn't noticed.
One thing I'm going to take, I have a point of contention with what Trump said that, George Conway's the husband from hell. You might want to think about that before you start criticizing other people's marriages. You might want to reflect on your own. I mean, Melania, he did have all these hush money payments to porn stars and to the Playboy Playmate of the Year. So I would just be careful passing judgment on other people's marriages.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Melania was pregnant, and she just delivered Barron at the time, and he had an affair allegedly with a porn star.
I think we've talked
rinse and
out
repeat, but
Stormy
I'm
Daniels.
just saying, I don't think he should pass judgment on other people's marriages and saying he's a husband from hell.
Well,
this is why you're not married.
If he didn't, he wouldn't be Trump. If this wasn't going on, I mean, he wouldn't be Trump, and all of the celebutant silliness that accompanies Trump world. I mean, it's just a part of it, I guess.
How did George and Kellyanne hook up to begin with? They're such an odd-looking couple, aren't they?
They're odd-looking.
Am I getting catty?
They're odd-looking individually and as a couple.
Yeah.
In that case.
Oh, I think Kellyanne Conway's pretty. I think she's. I like her.
Okay.
Okay, if that's your type. Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Her
and Michelle Obama.
Some people like their women Skeletor-like. I get it. Jim in Tampa.
Hey, good morning, guys. Could it be a play to set Trump up as being for women as opposed to against them?
I mean, you think this is orchestrated?
No, but I mean, it's kind of coming out that way, though. I'm not saying it's orchestrated. I think, Dan, you're not married, but every married guy knows that tone quite well.
Yes,
That's real.
I suspect as much. And so I'm not wrong on the tone. The tone was not exactly rallying to the defense of good old George at home, was it?
But let's not let a good crisis go to waste.
All right, thanks, Jim. Tom in Deer Park.
Yeah, it's just another episode in the Trump reality show. I don't know if this, I don't want to say it's normal, but it's certainly not healthy, but it's the drip, drip, drip of lurid weirdness of the Trump reality show. I don't think it's good to be messing around with people's marriages, but they seem to want to make it public. I just find it so strange. I don't know.
Oh, some people.
It is. Thanks for the call. It is entertaining though, and by the way, George Conway is the one who's been criticizing.
Yeah, he started this. I mean,
now a lot of people criticize the president, and the president doesn't have the time, thank God, to engage every person who criticizes him. But when it's the husband of somebody who's in the inner sanctum like Kellyanne is, it is a little bit different.
Some people over at the 5 on Fox think that George Conway is doing this so that he could become a CNN contributor.
Okay.
I don't think that's
sure.
Possible, but, all right.
I love conspiracy theories about melodramas. David in McCook. Hey, David. David in McCook is gone.
Bye-bye, David.
Tony in Downers Grove.
Hey, Dan. Meanwhile, in Israel, I mean, who really cares? I know it's
care deeply.
melodramatic. But, I'd be more interested in all the feminists coming out to talk about how Kellyanne Conway's been vilified, ridiculed, vile comments every day for the last 2 years. Where's the voices to defend her just as a female who has a position of power?
Right. Thanks for the call, Tony. And that's sort of the point that Kellyanne made. It's not an illegitimate one either. Chip in St. Charles.
George Conway proves something that I've known for a long time, and I've seen it actually in my own family, and that is that liberalism to a liberal comes first. It comes before your family. It comes before your religion. It comes before anything else in your life. It's just how you think.
Well, thanks for the call, Chip. The interesting thing, though, is it seems like this, as Kellyanne Conway describes it, this was a change of heart and position for hubby George, that he came to D.C. with her. He was interested in supporting the Trump administration. He was interested in jobs, as you heard her talk about. Solicitor General, offered a job at DOJ, and then something happened along the way.
She said George loved and voted for President Trump.
George was so excited, literally crying with joy in his MAGA hat, back not red with his MAGA hat on election night. And so in that way, he's changed. He's changed his opinion on, I guess, matters or the presidency, but I haven't, and Donald Trump hasn't.
So,
what do you think he did with the MAGA hat?
The interesting, does George, have you seen the picture of George Conway?
Which one?
The picture, the headshot of George Conway.
Yeah, I have.
This human
the body
form.
shot, yes.
Yeah. Does he
Looks
not?
Like J.B. Pritzker.
No.
Who? What do you got?
Similar body type. He's a dead ringer. He is a doppelganger for former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson.
Yeah.
And like Bill Richardson, he also gives off this sort of image of being 20 pounds of crap packed in a 10-pound bag. Like he's about to burst out of his suit at any moment. And not like in a Hulk Hogan kind of way either. All right, we'll give David and McCook one more chance. David.
Hey, happy Friday. Thanks for the chance.
Yeah,
hey,
sure.
Dan, reference back to the crisscross days. Do you still wear your pants backwards?
Not anymore.
My question is, when are these politicians going to start saying, my dad's tougher than your dad?
Yeah, thanks for the call, David. Maybe it'll go to, like, Barron and one of the Conway kids will have to represent the two families and have like a UFC fight or something, or
cage match,
or I don't know,
I want to see Barron. I haven't seen Barron in a long time.
Like one of those like the egg race contest, like the egg on the end of a spoon. Do something like that. Do something like you see like at an NBA game during a timeout or halftime.
Yeah.
Do like some kind of race.
Okay.
And then just settle it. Let the kids settle it, since they're probably more mature.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer, a good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man, at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
Hey, maybe if they all take balance of nature, everyone could get along. Hi, Amy Jacobson here. And guess what? March Madness is upon us, and Balance of Nature has an incredible Madness in March discount that you'll hear about at the end of this spot. But first, I've got to tell you about Balance of Nature. Think of it this way, 10 servings of fruits and veggies in a single capsule. No dyes or preservatives, And it's the best way to get your daily dose of fruits and veggies, especially if you want to stay healthy this spring. Don't wait until you start feeling sick to take Balance of Nature. Boost your immune system now, just like I'm doing, and get Balance of Nature today. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He's very passionate about his product. He played the voicemails, showed me the emails from real people who are living healthier and happier lives, all because of Balance of Nature. And listen up. Today only, when you go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code AMYJ4, AMY, the letter J, the number 4, all one word, and you will receive 50% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature. That is 50% off your Balance of Nature today only when you go to balanceofnature.com, promo code AMYJ4. Or you can call 800-246-8751. But just go to balanceofnature.com, promo code AMYJ4 for 50% off.
On April 5th, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get in my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters April 5th.
Got an email last night from a lady in Florida who doubted my sincerity about Relief Factor until she tried it. She tried Relief Factor. In her case, it took her almost 3 weeks, and she woke up pain-free. Relief Factor was the answer she's been looking for. This makes my 60 seconds to tell you about Relief Factor some of the happiest times of my day, because I know people are going to get the relief that they've been craving. You can get all the pain relief benefits of Relief Factor without the negative side effects of ibuprofen or prescription drugs. Physicians created Relief Factor as a crucial way to support the body's fights against aches and pains. So no matter your age, maybe you're just too sore after a great workout at the gym, or if you're like me and you're of a certain age and you want to start dealing with the aches and pains of life, give Relief Factor a try. The 3-week quick start is $19.95. Try it for 3 weeks. It's $19.95. Decide if it's for you or not. ReliefFactor.com. ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-500-8384. 800-500-8384. Relief Factor.
AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Art beat. Yeah. Did you ever wonder if Edvard Munch's scream is really a screamer? If the figure in Edvard Munch's scream, you know.
Right, I'm familiar with it.
It really screaming? Not really screaming. Isn't this fascinating? The rare version of the scream that's being displayed at a British Museum makes clear that the person he depicts is hearing a scream.
Oh, that's why he's covering his ears?
And not, yes, as many people continue to assume and debate, as I'm sure you do within your social circle.
Oh, all the time. I mean, we always...
A person screaming. It's not right. That's the guy that's screaming at Munch's figure.
Screaming at the screaming portrait.
Correct. Very deliberately did Munch include the caption on the version to describe how the basis of the inspiration. Mm-hmm. He was trying to capture an emotion or moment in time. Through the inscription, we know how he felt, says the curator of this museum. People think it's a screaming person. That's not what's going on. It's a man hearing. Whether in his head or not, he feels the sensation of nature screaming all around him. All right? I know we get a lot of calls on that, and so I just wanted to settle it.
What Munch's intentions were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy's that's nature screaming at Munch. It's an audio version. I mean, so we try to settle things here, trying to explain things so that your men and women of letters within your communities of interest. I mean, just last week I explained again that the Robert Frost, the road not taken.
Right.
The road not taken. It didn't matter.
Exactly.
It's made all the difference, means it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
So that's our poetry beat, and now here's our art beat. And we'll continue to resolve these unanswered questions you have about the great works of art.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we'll stick in the artistic arena and ask you if you stand in solidarity with the cellists and violinists and flutists and percussionists that are on strike for their pension benefits from the CSO. That's at 6:36.
And later, another edition of Animal Stories, another frozen cat. This one found near the pet cemetery, the actual one. We'll tell you what happened to it. Creepy. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
36 degrees. There are reports this morning about software updates coming from Chicago-based Boeing for their 737 MAX aircraft. It will mandate a cockpit warning light that had been optional. Sources say the warning light could have alerted pilots to problems that might have led to 2 deadly crashes within the span of less than a half year. President Trump says the U.S. will fully recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was elated by the news.
President Trump has just made history. I called him. I thanked him on behalf of the people of Israel. He did it again.
The president tweeting yesterday the region is of critical strategic and security importance, and the president will host Netanyahu at the White House next week. A bill would restore voting rights to people convicted of felonies in Tennessee. It awaits a full House floor vote. It was approved by a House panel on Wednesday. It would simplify the voter registration process for felons and restore the right to vote to around 320,000 people. Another legal battle is brewing after Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant signed one of the most restrictive abortion laws in the country. The new pro-life law bans abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected. A Chicago judge will rule on whether to let R. Kelly travel overseas to perform concerts to help the cash-strapped singer pay legal and other bills. Illinois State Police continue investigating a shooting on the Dan Ryan Expressway. It has gummed up the works this morning on the Ryan, and El Verde will be along with the traffic update in just a moment. An Illinois State Police trooper was seriously hurt this week when a semi-trailer struck him and his squad car, responding to a multi-vehicle accident along I-55 in St. Clair County. That's in the Metro East near St. Louis. The trooper's vehicle and the trooper were the 14th to be struck statewide this year. A January crash resulted in the death of an Illinois State trooper along the Tri-State Tollway. Blackhawks unable to capitalize. They fall in the Western Conference playoff chase to Philadelphia last night, 3-1. NCAA tournament, Big Ten 5-0 on day one. Illinois' only team in the NCAA tournament is a one-and-done, Bradley, falling to Michigan State. The news, a service of Credit Karma. Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma, here's to progress. 6:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather coming up next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Don't let someone else make money off of your money. Take control of your income and your future. Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and I'm talking about Online Trading Academy. They're the leader in trading and investing education. With courses offered throughout Chicagoland, including East Peoria, Valparaiso, Lombard, you can learn about ways to generate income and protect your retirement. I attended a class at Online Trading Academy and learned so much. And you too can jump into a free class. Just call 844-778-7132. That's 844-778-7132. And if you call right now, they will send you home with a Professionals Insider Kit. It's loaded with exclusive investing courses and some of their best lessons from the pros. Limited opportunity and seats go quickly. Call 844-778-7132. That's 844-778-7132, or visit them online at otaclass.com.
I'm Marcia Hines, and I'm the mother of a child who recovered from autism. Let me say that again because most people don't know recovery is even possible. Today, my son works as an aerospace engineer. Please join me, along with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and more than 140 leading doctors, scientists, and researchers to learn about the latest medical treatments for autism. We will all be at the Autism One conference in Chicago from May 22nd to May 26th. To learn more, visit autismone.org.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
It is 6:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Al Verde.
Here's a look at traffic. The Dan Ryan inbound remains shut down between 79th and 71st because of a shooting investigation. The entrance ramps from 79th and 75th are shut down as a result. 57 inbound, that's jammed because of that. Back from 103rd, and Bishop Ford inbound is jammed back from 111th. On the Edens inbound, it slows now from Foster to Montrose, 22 in from Lake Cook to the Kennedy Junction. No outbound delays. Kennedy inbound, 26 O'Hare to downtown. Outbound is fine. Eisenhower in is 33 from 390 to the Byrne interchange. And inbound slows up between Mannheim and Bad Harlem. That's traffic. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. And our meteorologist Steve Williams tells us cloudy start this morning, sunshine for the afternoon, high of 43. Currently in Chicago, skies are mostly cloudy, and again will stay that way for much of the morning, 36 right now. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer
Bob Conway, President, Charles Equipment Energy Systems.
on AM 560.
The only thing we do are things that suck, squeeze, bang, and blow.
Wow, we'll be right back.
The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Do you stand in solidarity with the striking Chicago Symphony Orchestra musicians? Tony Preckwinkle does. Lori Lightfoot does, the next mayor of the city of Chicago. And why shouldn't they? You know what CSO musicians want? More money and no consequences. So let's do some math for artists. The CSO, by the way, the CSO just went on strike. They're like the
Every 11 months they go on strike.
public school teachers now. I think it was, 2012 they were last on strike? But in 15, they inked a deal, which provided 1% salary increase in year 1, 2% in year 2, and 3. Okay. They also, and here's the rub, pension benefits increased by 4.3%. There were no changes to health care plans or pension contributions. And now, like so many other institutions that have been insulated from the realities of economics, there's a pension problem over at CSO for artists whose base salary is $160,000.
That's the starting one. Wow, that's nice.
Annual base pay, $160,000. The proposal from management was to bump that to $167,000. The counter from the artists, the musicians, $178,000. They want an 11% salary increase, and also they don't want to really pay any more into
their pension.
The pensions. Yeah.
Well, can't they do the math that when or see other examples in the city and the state that we live in that doesn't work out well?
Well, remember, the CSO is a nonprofit. It's not a government agency. Actually, they lose money, according to the CSO, when they put on shows, make it up with private contributions. So, maybe have Yo-Yo Ma sell a Stradivarius or two. Okay. Over the weekend, CSO musicians circulated a chart asserting that the board's proposal is shift from traditional defined benefit plan. I love the traditional defined benefit. That doesn't exist anywhere in the world anymore except in Illinois government and apparently the CSO. To a direct contribution plan would cost the artist more than staying with the current plan. Yeah, no kidding. That's sort of the point. The figures show the current plan would cost the association $36 million over the next 10 years. The proposed plan, $47 million, and so they walked. And why wouldn't they? Because that's the culture here. And those champagne socialists and rent-seeking corporations that underwrite the CSO and otherwise are advocates for big unsustainable government in Chicago and Illinois, why wouldn't the CIO jump on board? The interesting thing to me about this, and I love the CIO. I'm right. In my small way a patron of the arts. I go to the CSO. I go to Lyric. This is like the classic example of how politics infects everything in Chicago and Illinois. So much different than almost any other state in the nation. This is about political culture. And so you don't think it seeps into the entitlement mentality of admittedly brilliant artists at the CSO when they see what happens in the public sector with public sector workers when they take a walk and demand that the public write blank checks and demand that they only put in $140,000 over the course of their time in government and they get $2.1 million guaranteed out. 401ks, that's for the suckers in the private sector. That's not for government workers, and it's certainly not for artists. And I'll tell you what, there's some more good news coming, particularly for the arts community with Mayor-elect Lightfoot.
Right, she's going to increase the hotel tax and use that money to local artisans. Give them money.
Maybe that can help, give
CSO.
Yeah, give the string section a bump over at the CSO. That's super. Here's the other thing, though: the transaction tax. I want that LaSalle Street tax that we talked to Jeff Carter about. Yeah. Gotta hit the transaction tax. Get rid of those exchanges, and then think about that. You have all of that open space where CBOT, CBOE. Oh yeah. You put musicians there. You make those artistic communes. Let's do this thing, huh? So you have great artistic offerings and nobody here to enjoy them. Kevin in Northfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Amy. How are you?
Good.
Amy, parenthetically, my daughter's being initiated into Kappa Kappa Gamma this weekend.
Oh, congratulations. You're a Kappa dad. How do you feel?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm hoping that she finds her own Edward James almost. But
sure. Yeah.
On this issue, I'm wondering, you guys, I remember when the meteorologists went on strike and there was absolutely no weather for quite some time. Do you guys fear that with the Yo-Yo Ma dieting on the 401k that, if Lori Lightfoot walks the picket line, it might be a skipping kind of a thing. And where will the Chicago culture vultures go?
Well, that's a great question, Kevin. I mean, look, I was looking forward to the Bach cello suites this summer. And I don't know, you can't really replace Yo-Yo Ma. well, actually, everybody's replaceable, but you can't really replace them. So, no, I mean it's a big hit. It's not like replacing some idiot nephew of some alderman in the water department. So I'm all for paying whatever the market will bear. I want everybody to maximize their earnings. I get it, but
you think they're being a little greedy? 312-642-5600 or turnkey.pro answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
It's not even a matter of greed. It's not even this. And by the way, this is you don't think this is political? Striking CSO musicians offering free concerts. Generating a little goodwill, huh? And also a little bit of profile to keep their sad sack stories in front of the sympathetic public. For musicians who've been on strike since March 11th, they're calling the series From the Heart of the Orchestra. They bleed for us. Tickets will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. This was announced Wednesday this week. First concert Friday at Pianoforte Studios on the 1300 block of South Michigan. Will feature works by Mozart, Vivaldi, Mendelssohn. Maybe I'll go.
Yeah, it's free.
And then I'll have some questions. We can do pension Q&A time after the performance. What do you think? Mike on the north side.
Hey, good morning. If these musicians need a few extra bucks, maybe they should moonlight. My cousin's got a bowling banquet out at the Lexington House in the southwest suburbs this weekend. Maybe they could practice their polkas and the chicken dance. They could make some money there. Or otherwise, maybe they should team up with Uber. And as these people are going to the concert, they could sit in the front seat and they could play a little Vivaldi for them. Make a few extra bucks.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Mike. He brings up a great point. There's just not enough accordion at the CSO.
Exactly.
I've always suggested that. Ricardo Muti hasn't taken me up on it. The board chair is Helen Zell, the wife of Sam Zell. I haven't talked to Muti, she said, in a few days. Last time I spoke with him, he was his charming, delightful self. I'm just fine and dandy. I have no issues with any of that. I know him pretty well, and I don't find a lot of it surprising. Talking about comments he made, Ricardo Muti made, of course, the music director for CSO, last week alongside striking musicians. He had some pointed words for management. He's standing in solidarity with Lori Lightfoot, Tony Preckwinkle, and his musicians. Marty in Naperville.
First of all, I'd like to know where I get in line to sign up to get a job where you bang on a kettle drum every 48 measures and make $160 grand.
The percussionist got it figured out, no question. Yeah,
no kidding. I play in a bar band. Can I go on strike? And also, this is politics. Just falls into everything. That's exactly. Even though this is private sector, if you want to call it, it's the Chicago way. It just never ends, never will. You can get either one of these two new mayors in there. It's never going to end, man. But once you do find out where I can get that hit that timpani every 48 measures, let me know.
All right, very good. I'll pass that along. Also, too, among the shows that have been canceled now, George Hinchcliffe's Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain.
Oh, really?
And who doesn't like a Tiny Tim tribute on the weekends? Huh? Some interesting choices, admittedly, but I still enjoy it. So I want this. The cultural offerings is one of the great things of the city, but the worst thing about the city is the political culture, which subsumes all of the cultural offerings, and so we have to indulge this silliness. But maybe you get a free concerto or something out of it, so it's all good. Have you been to the CSO?
No, I haven't.
Why not? Why not?
A little highbrow for me.
Don't you
I
think?
I did play the French horn. My sister played the flute.
Don't you think you should bring?
My family's involved in the Jacksonville Symphony Orchestra. She's a flutist.
Go, but well, you should bring Peyton and Eli. Some acculturation is part of your job.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I brought them to. I've taken them to a few things. We went to Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay.
We left at halftime. I mean intermission.
Right. Why'd you leave?
He's got tinnitus, my youngest one, so
okay.
it was a little.
Okay.
Well, at least he said it was flaring up. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Oh, this tinnitus is really kicking in, Mom. I gotta go.
He's clever, that one. Helen Zell, how about this statement?
Yeah, let me hear.
Since the pension issue is the issue, well, I mean, they're a little far apart on salary, too, but the pension issue is the matter that the musicians are making the most of. Helen Zell, listen to this statement and just think about the state with the largest unfunded pension liabilities, public sector pension liabilities in the nation, police and fire pension funds that are circling the drain in the city. Helen Zell, it would be irresponsible for the board to continue to authorize a pension program that jeopardizes the orchestra's and the musicians' future. But it's okay for everybody else, including the board of the CSO in their political lives, to authorize a city and state government that does the same for everybody else, the pensioners and the taxpayers alike. Isn't the disconnect just delicious? Jim on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. Comparing this pension situation in CSO and the city is a false analogy. The pension problem with the city is because the voters just don't care and aren't paying any attention. There should have been a political firestorm when Daley declared a pension holiday, stopped putting money into the pensions, and then start selling off assets.
Yeah. Well, I didn't make the analogy, Jim. Thanks for the call. So your tinnitus must be kicking up, because the point is to say the political culture that overwhelms everything and informs everything. I understand the difference between public sector pension funds and this nonprofit organization's pension fund. That's not the point. So if you don't understand the political culture, you never get to the fundamental problem. That's where the paradigm shift has to come. Everybody thinks, oh, well, you do this or you do that. Oh, don't sell assets. Don't skip payments. Like it's a math problem. It's not. It is a math problem fundamentally, but it's a math problem that's driven by a political culture that can treat math as an opinion and have voters and the same members of the board of CSO, who are the leading lights when it comes to selecting the political leadership of this city and state, treat one differently than the other. All part of the same culture. Culture is the problem. Kleptocratic political culture in Chicago, in Illinois, is the fundamental problem. And it's cut me in or cut it out. So everybody lines up for their special deal, their waiver, their gold-plated pension at the expense of somebody else's home, the liquidation of it. If you don't get that, you understand nothing, literally nothing, about what's wrong with Chicago and Illinois and why it's the worst governed city in America, in the worst governed state in American history.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Miller Coors suing competitor Anheuser-Busch. Darden restaurants beat revenue expectations, and Rite Aid shareholders approve a boost in the stock price. Those stories next.
Have you ever seen a pest controller spraying chemicals in your home? It makes you wonder, if their chemicals are safe, then why do they suit up and wear respirators only to leave you to walk back in unprotected? G'day, I'm Scott from Plug-in Pest Free, and I'm here to tell you there's a better way. In an age where we now have the choice to drive electric cars, you too can electronically rid your home or business of unwanted rodents and pests. The answer is Plug-in Pest Free. 100% chemical-free, Plug-in Pest Free is your safest bet for your family and pets. Our bestseller, the Plug-in Pest Free Pro, will cover up to 4,000 square feet. Now that's fair income. So order yours today at gopestfree.com. Use promo code SAVE20 for 20% off plus free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's gopestfree.com, promo code SAVE20. Don't spray and regret. Plug in and forget. Gopestfree.com today.
Miller Coors filed a lawsuit against competitor Anheuser-Busch, saying its TV commercials are made to, quote, frighten people into thinking Miller Lite and Coors Light contain corn syrup. Corn syrup used in fermentation by both brewers, but no corn syrup remains after the process is completed by either brewer. The lawsuit seeks to stop the television ads. Shares of Darden Restaurants, owner of the Olive Garden chain, rose Thursday after the company posted earnings and revenue that beat Wall Street targets. Darden's quarterly profits nearly $224 million, beating profits from the same quarter a year ago. Shareholders of Rite Aid drugstores have okayed a plan to boost share prices in order to keep the stock from being delisted on the New York Stock Exchange. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
You've got to check out the new 8-part series that's starting on the History Channel Monday night. It is called Jesus, His Life. It's a portrayal of people in Jesus' world as seen through the eyes of the 8 people who knew him best. Joseph, John the Baptist, Mary, Caiaphas, Peter, Pontius Pilate, and others. This series shows Jesus' journey through a complex world of kings, politicians, performers, and soldiers amid a turbulent power struggle during a time of revolutionary change. Now, the series features commentary from a wide group of biblical scholars. Each episode focuses on the perspective of different biblical characters and how she saw Jesus. Check it out now on the History Channel Monday night, this Monday, folks, at 7 p.m., and Sunday night at 8 and 9 p.m.
Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. I want to answer some frequently asked home mortgage questions today. First, how much do I need for a down payment? There are 1% down payment programs currently running, as well as programs that will allow you to get the entire down payment as a gift. We also have programs where a family member can co-sign for the mortgage in order to help the borrower qualify. Do I need perfect credit to qualify for a loan? The answer is no. All these programs have restrictions, so please give me a call at 312-896-2110, and I'll be happy to go over them. Another question is, can I take cash out of my house to pay off high-interest credit card debt? The answer is yes, but you need to have enough equity in your house to make it happen. Why Townstone instead of the big banks? Because since 2002, we pride ourselves on beating the big banks on closing costs and interest rates every day. Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call 312-896-2110 or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health.
To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Wow, he's got a good voice.
You've never heard Tiny Tim before?
It's just been a long time.
You should really expose yourself to more ukulele-driven music.
Okay.
That's how I like to spend my Saturday nights, and I could if the CSO wasn't on strike.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
This is the one area in the country, and even in Illinois, where freedom-loving conservatives are on the march, protecting innocent life at 7:07.
And later, Chicago's top dog. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Skies are clearing out. We should have sunshine later today. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
It could plunge the region into a new crisis. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is Iran's reaction to the U.S. recognizing Israel's right to control the Golan Heights. Russia claims it could destabilize the Middle East. Syria says it's now more intent on reclaiming that territory. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the president made the announcement on Twitter, shaking up decades of U.S. policy concerning the land, which the Palestinians claim is theirs. He told Fox Business Network's Maria Bartiromo,
"For years, other presidents have campaigned. They said they'd do it. This is sovereignty. This is security. This is about regional security."
The president denied the move is designed to help Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu, who faces re-election next month. President Netanyahu expected to visit the White House next week. Dave.
Rachel, the president also again called the Russia investigation a hoax.
For 2 years, we've gone through this nonsense because there's no collusion with Russia. You know that better than anybody. And there's no obstruction.
Well, Democrats believe there is and have ramped up their investigations in the House. More American casualties in Afghanistan, 2 troops killed in an operation today. Amid all the investigations into the now grounded Boeing 737 MAX 8 jets after 2 deadly crashes, the Indonesian airline Garuda is canceling a $6 billion order for new 737 MAX jets.
Meanwhile, Boeing has said that it will make an optional extra cost safety feature on its 737 standard now. This is the 2 angle of attack sensors just outside the pilot and co-pilot's windows.
That's Fox's Doug McElway in New Zealand, a Muslim prayer service a week after the massacres in 2 Christchurch mosques.
We are determined to not let anyone divide us.
Thousands also attended a mass funeral burying 26 of the 50 people murdered. Another milestone for Jimmy Carter. He's now the oldest ex-president ever, 94 years, 172 days. Carter had already shattered Herbert Hoover's record of living longer than any other president after leaving office. This is Fox News.
36 degrees, 7:02 is our time on AM 560, The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Trouble on the Dan Ryan this morning after an overnight shooting. Illinois State Police continue to investigate. It is a traffic nightmare this morning, and Alverdi will be along in the traffic center in just a moment with an update. The Department of Children and Family Services is investigating the caseworker who had described as safe a 2-year-old boy who was later found dead in a Chicago home this week. The interim director of DCFS saying yesterday the caseworker who had been to the home just days before Jahir Gibbons died is being investigated. A Northwestern University pre-med student is out on bail after allegedly raping an unconscious woman on campus. Authorities say a 20-year-old Scott Thomas committed criminal sexual assault last weekend when students leaving a campus library reportedly saw him assaulting an 18-year-old female student who appeared lifeless. Camera footage showed the woman refusing Thomas several times after meeting him at a soccer party that night. A man is under arrest after an hours-long barricade situation in Chicago. Police yesterday responded to reports of gunfire on South Brandon Avenue around 3 p.m. The standoff went on for about 6 hours, but ended peacefully. The bookkeeper for an Arlington Heights dentist is accused of stealing more than $500,000 from her boss. Karen Ursuto and her husband have been charged with aggravated identity theft and financial fraud. Blackhawks unable to capitalize in the playoff chase, falling to the Flyers 3-1. NCAA tournament, notable upsets from yesterday. 12-seed Murray State beat Marquette, and the 10-seed Minnesota beat number 7 Louisville. Big Ten 5-0, but Bradley lost to Michigan State.
Very proud of them. Like I said, Michigan State's a very good team. They were composed. Game was tight with 6 minutes to go, and they made some big shots in key moments, and we just weren't able to connect on those same shots.
Bradley's coach on the battle, Elijah Childs, 19 to lead the Braves. The news a service of Staples. Right now at Staples, you can earn 100% back in rewards on your first in-store print and marketing services order up to $100. Exclusions apply. Ends 3/23/19. See store for details. Staples. 7:04. It's time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal 800-421-SEAL. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains how the left works.
The use of government power for political ends, that is exactly what the left is about, has always been about. There are no limits to the efforts it will make using government to suppress its foes. There are no limits. The IRS was just a hint of it. This is a very scary thing.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the buy one, get one free paint sale at Ace, our biggest paint sale of the year. Buy a gallon of our top paint brands like Valspar and Clark & Kensington and get the second free. And you know what else is free? Our help. With the Ace Extra Mile Promise, get everything you need to paint in one trip or deliveries free. Don't miss the buy one, get one free paint sale. Now through Monday, only at Ace. Limit 2, delivery subject to availability. Visit acehardware.com for more details.
Napa know-how.
Right now, only at Napa, AAA members get a 20% discount. So you can avoid getting stranded on the side of the road by picking up some quality parts like batteries, brake pads, and more. Meaning you can prevent the problem before it ever becomes a problem. Bravo! That's 20% off for AAA members. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 3/31/19.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Patriot Software provides cloud-based accounting software that is super easy for business owners and powerful enough for accountants. With Patriot's accounting software, business owners can easily invoice customers, receive payments, pay bills, and track the money in and out of their company without needing a college degree in accounting. And with Patriot Software's patent-pending cash-to-accrual toggle switch, the business's accountant can log in, view the books, and make complex entries to ensure the business has accurate financial statements. Easy but powerful. Everybody wins. Go to patriotsoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. If you're credit challenged, Team Hochberg has a special offer. Credit enhancement expert Gary Novell has taught me everything I know about credit and has helped thousands of radio listeners enhance their credit. If your credit is prohibiting you from purchasing a home or refinancing your existing home, Gary will help. Here's how it works. Call Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID and we'll introduce you to Gary Novell. Invest in yourself by hiring Gary to enhance your credit, and Team Hochberg will refund Gary's fee when Team Hochberg closes your loan. If you'd like a professional to enhance your credit so you could purchase a home or refinance your existing home, call the local mortgage experts on Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com.
Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
At Farmers Insurance, we know every windshield collision has a unique sound. Beetle. Bird poop. Drone. Seen it, covered it. Talk to farmers.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
7:08. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Alverde.
Here's a look at traffic. The inbound Dan Ryan remains shut down between 79th and 71st because of a shooting investigation. Traffic's being detoured to Vincennes and Stony Island. Both of those are jammed. As a result, 57 inbound jams back from 103rd. Bishop Ford inbound jams from 111th. The Edens, that looks good both directions. Kennedy inbound 33, O'Hare to downtown 27, back out to the airport. Eisenhower in is 43 from 390 to the Circle, 34 back out. Stevenson in 54 from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, and no real delays outbound. Lakeshore Drive northbound, heavy from the Stevenson to about Balbo. That's traffic. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Some clouds to start things off today, then sunshine, the high today 43. Clear tonight with the low at 26. Sunny tomorrow, high 48. Cloudy with a shower on Sunday, the high again at 48. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
36 at O'Hare. Skies turning mostly sunny this morning. Next news update at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Are you ready for the moment? Are you ready for a moment, some 46 years in the making? Overturning Roe v. Wade and returning it to the states. It's coming to a head. So what New York and Virginia did, or what New York did and Virginia is attempting to do to legalize infanticide, what Governor Jellybelly wants to do here, which is replicate what Cuomo and the ghouls in New York did and maybe do them one better, to be the most pro-abortion, pro-infanticide governor and state in the country.
And taxpayers are paying for abortions, too.
That's right.
I don't want my tax dollars going to that.
But
I guess I don't have a say, right?
Well, you do have a say. You have a say as a citizen, even if you live in Illinois. You have a say in terms of whether you decide to stay in Illinois. So there's always a say, and that's what's interesting, because the cultural divide is going to force the hand of the Supreme Court. So the era of incrementalism in the pro-life movement is coming to an end. We're at the point now, or we're going to be very soon, where there's going to be a decision to be made and an opportunity to unwind one of the worst decisions the Supreme Court of the United States has ever made. Terrible legally, and obviously unbelievably catastrophic culturally. David French writing in National Review, Iowa's made its choice. So has Kentucky. And yesterday, Mississippi joined the ranks when Governor Phil Bryant of Mississippi signed a heartbeat bill that would ban abortions once a fetal heartbeat can be detected. Set to become law this July 1, and would be one of the strictest laws in the nation. You're talking about banning abortions basically after 6 weeks, as New York and Virginia and Illinois want to allow you to, kill children until they're able to work outside the home, basically. It's a real thing. No, I mean, not that part. I'm being sarcastic. Right. It's a real thing, this cultural divide and this moment that's coming. So you want to not deal with it. Oh, it's a divisive issue. There's two sides. Nothing's ever going to change. Not true. And not true thanks in large part to the relentlessness of the pro-life movement. The one conservative movement, the one traditionalist movement in this country that is actually beating back the cultural Marxists. So all of the deep thinkers and political geniuses in charge of the Republican Party in godforsaken states like Illinois and California, they may want to pay attention, because even in those states, the pro-life movement is advancing the flag against the cowardice of Republicans and the ghastliness of pro-abortion Democrats. David French, again, in National Review. If a movement is truly pro-life, a majority of the state's voters want to protect and foster cultural life, then it's time to throw down the gauntlet. There's a change in the cultural winds. The Tennessee and Georgia houses have both passed their own heartbeat bills, and if they can make it through their senates and governors, they'll collectively create a large, geographically contiguous slice of America that has declared an intention to be virtually abortion-free. So that's no longer just a legal tactic, though it has ramifications. It represents a statement of moral intent. It looks at the monstrous reality of abortion and rejects the less death approach of incrementalism in favor of a true embrace of unborn life, which is, of course, a radical change from the status quo. So, are you ready to see Roe v. Wade overturned and have these issues decided at the state level, which is what it would mean? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. It's worth noting, like I said, in Illinois, if you want to try to grab onto any notes of hopefulness in this horrific, barbaric state, those 4 abortion bills that were first reported here, advanced by Governor Jelly Belly and the other barbarians, moved to subcommittee in the House. And that's because of the pro-life movement that got mobilized in this state. And it's because of pregnancy care centers that are run by CareNet and Aid for Women and Waterleaf and so many others. And pro-life organizations like Illinois Right to Life, new, young, aggressive leadership, something the Republican Party doesn't have. The pro-life movement does. More than 13,000 witness slips filed in Springfield from pro-lifers to testify on those 4 bills that would legalize infanticide, allow doctors, non-doctors to perform surgical abortions. I mean, crazy town stuff.
Well, so you can go get Botox and get an abortion at the same place.
13,000 plus witness slips. That is a huge response. And it is cowed even some of the most insulated politicians in Springfield. It's really interesting.
Well, so if it goes back to the states, obviously Illinois, because we are a Democratic state, we're going to still allow abortions here in the state of Illinois.
Right. That's with the political balance
So
of
is
power
that
in the
enough?
state. Sure.
If you're pro-life, would that be enough for you to move out of Illinois? Would that be the tipping point?
If what?
No, if you're pro-life, which you
Yeah,
are, and
right.
if we, it's up to the states to decide if you're legalizing abortion, would that be another reason to move?
Well, I mean, that reason's built in right now. I mean, I guess the only difference would be you would have states that truly are protective of a culture of life and advancing a culture of life in a way that they're somewhat constrained from doing now. Although these states are, again, these heartbeat laws, they're going to be challenged.
Well, yeah.
And the Supreme Court's going to be forced to take it up, and so you're going to have that moment.
Well, a lot of women don't find out they're pregnant until 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks, and sometimes 10 weeks. So when they go and find out they're pregnant, there's obviously going to be a heartbeat there, and if not, then that's not a viable pregnancy.
Well, okay, but the decision to you want to stay and fight on a very difficult terrain like Illinois, or you want to move somewhere where you have laws that reflect your moral values. I mean, that's sort of an individual choice.
It's really too bad they shouldn't, they should force all the lawmakers to see the Gosnell movie before they're voting on infanticide.
Absolutely. And by the way, Unplanned, Abby Johnson's movie, we talked to her on the show, that's out this week, or beginning of next week.
On demand?
The 28th or something. There's a theater listing. If you Google Unplanned Chicago theaters, there's already all the theaters it's playing in. It's wide distribution, which is good. Kentucky, just going to Kentucky, Matt Bevin down there, pro-life governor of Kentucky, because it's one of the states that's moving. 4 new pro-life laws that will be signed by Matt Bevin. A law that would ban abortion after 6 weeks. That's the fetal heartbeat bill. A law that would ban abortion in the state of Kentucky if Roe v. Wade were overturned. Prospective. Just to my point about this moment that's coming. Another would require physicians to tell women about certain realities of life and options available to them in the event they're considering an abortion. And in moral terms, as our colleague Dr. Albert Mohler points out in his recent commentary in townhall.com, the most important of the bills is the last one. It would make illegal abortions based on race, gender, or disability. Race, gender, or disability. And we've talked about this before. Go up to somebody who's pro-choice and, oh, pro-choice? Yeah, are you? What if the woman and her boyfriend, husband, whatever, what if they want to have an abortion because the child tested positive for Down syndrome? Do you support that? Oh, well, I don't know about that. What if they want to have an abortion because they wanted a boy and it's a girl? They're going to abort the child based on the gender. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Makes the all but the most rabid pro-infanticide very uncomfortable, as it should. It's telling, isn't it? So this great story out of St. Louis, Wildwood. Grace Strobel scans the room for little hands waving in the air. She spots a group of kids who frequently call for her to help open their condiment packs or juice boxes.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Walks over. Her mom was close to the table, checked in on the group. Can I help you? She said. And the boy said, no, we want Grace to help us. And Grace's mom asked, why? Because we know she can't do it. Right. And then the kids laughed. Grace, then 20 years old, who has Down syndrome, heard the exchange.
That's just mean.
Burst into tears. Mom told her to walk away, calm herself. Then Mom turned to the kids and said, would you laugh at someone in a wheelchair? They shook their heads. Grace isn't physically disabled. Kids were properly chastened in that moment. And it begins the story of Grace Strobel, a woman with Down syndrome, who does presentations now. Mom then took that moment, and Grace being so upset about how she was treated. So I got to do something for my daughter to build her self-confidence and to help her feel like she's a part of community, even though she's different. So, long story short, Grace got to the point where she put together a presentation on Down syndrome and now goes all over and talks about it. She tells students how doctors said she would never be able to tie her own shoes when she was born. Wrong. Doctors don't know everything. This just in. The difference between a doctor and God, right? That old joke. Her presentation has 72 slides. In one part of her talk, she has the kids put on bulky gloves and try to button a shirt to demonstrate what it feels like for her. She has them try on a weighted backpack to feel what it's like to walk around with low muscle tone. By the end of her presentation, the students are crowding around her, giving high fives and hugs. One teacher saying, 23 years as an educator, this is absolutely one of the highlights of my career. We had Karen Gaffney on last week.
Oh, she was wonderful, by the way.
We've had Frank Stevens testify before Congress. There's no place for men and women with Down syndrome in this world. So wrong. Last summer, Mom hired a photographer to take modeling photos because Grace is very camera friendly and she loves being in front of the camera. When Mom posted images of Grace on Facebook, photos went viral. People around the world sending encouraging messages. And one local fashion designer got in touch with her because Mom had told, that made it public that Grace's dream was to become a model. And so this local fashion designer, her name is Ola Hawatma, I'm going to make her dream come true. She gave her runway lessons on how to walk, homework to practice, a design to dress to fit her frame. And she was one of the models for this designer's offerings at Fashion Week in Atlantic City. She strutted out in the finale in the show in a long white dress. The audience erupted, loud applause. The fashion designer said, when I look at Grace, I see courage and beauty. No place in this world for them? You want to fight this fight? Or do you want to content yourself with ignoring it? It's uncomfortable. People don't like to talk about it. Let's just be incremental. Let's take what we can get from the pro-abortion left. How about we don't? How about we don't? How about we do what Bevin is doing in Kentucky, what Bryant did in Mississippi, what legislators in more sensible states are doing around the country, and also what you know to be true, honestly. You don't think Grace Strobel has a place in this world? Who wants to take that position? Raise your hand. So if you don't want to take that position, do you want to be known as a coward? Raise your hand. Marvin in Gurnee, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning. Pardon me. I was just a young guy growing up, got married and had our first daughter. Never had a clue really about abortion. And what turned me around, she was born 1 pound, 13 ounces. Anybody who needs to understand about this issue, spend just a couple hours in a neonatal care unit, and it'll change your mind around 180 degrees about the whole abortion issue. It's an unbelievable thing. And that daughter of mine now graduated college.
Good.
And she's on her way. I'm just saying it needs to be done, because these children want to live. They want to live.
Thanks.
That's all I got to say.
Thanks for the call, Marvin. Appreciate that. And the point too about the move in Illinois among the bills to rescind parental notification. You're a parent of a teenage girl. Do you want to live in a state that respects your rights as a parent? She can go under the knife, as it were, without mom or dad knowing?
But you can't take an aspirin at school without mom or dad knowing, or ibuprofen or anything like that.
Is that sensible? The possibility of someone doing irreversible surgery on your not-of-age daughter, and you find out after the fact? How's that sit with you? Sound like good policy making? Frank in Antioch, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi.
Hey, Frank.
Good morning. I have a question. Why aren't we hearing the Catholic Church and any other religious organizations screaming about what's going on in Springfield about abortion?
Well, that's a fair question, Frank. Here's what I would say. Thanks for that. You are. The Cardinal Supich is pro-life, and he takes the position publicly. Does he advance that with the same fervor that he talks about climate change or minimum wage laws? No. Is that wrong? Yes. But you have parishes throughout the region and the state that are on the front lines of this fight. You have Catholic organizations, I mentioned Aid for Women, with which I'm affiliated, that run homes and pregnancy care centers for women who need help to bring their child to term and then to care for their child after they bring the child to term, she brings the child to term, that are on the front lines of this fight. So without Catholics, pro-life Catholics, this wouldn't be much of a fight. Evangelicals, too, it's not limited to the Catholic Church, but since Frank, of course it's not, but since Frank asked about the Catholic Church, sometimes the leadership of an organization isn't in sync with the members of the organization. You could say that about the Catholic Church in this city. You could say it about the Republican Party in this state. John in Huntley, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thanks for taking my call. I've got a story. I hope I can get through it without being too emotional. But I had a Down syndrome sister born in 1950. The doctors told my mother and dad that she wouldn't live past 3. Then they upped it to 8. Then they upped it to 16. Then they upped it to 24. She passed away this past January at the age of 68.
Wow.
And there's not a day goes by that I don't miss her. But she brought so much love and so much happiness to my family. I can't even begin to tell you. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, John.
She's lucky to have you.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll go from one humanitarian crisis to another when we discuss border security with President Obama's former CBP director, Mark Morgan, at 7:37.
But first, let's hit that newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunshine, 36 degrees. Traffic finally being allowed back onto a portion of the Dan Ryan Expressway, shut down this morning for a shooting investigation. Good chunk of that highway was closed 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. from 71st to 79th Streets. 2 U.S. service members have been killed during a joint operation with Afghan forces in northern Afghanistan today. The Indonesian airline Garuda is canceling a $5 billion order for Boeing's 737 MAX jetliner. A Garuda official says the airline's passengers have lost confidence in that aircraft. It doesn't appear there will be enough votes to pass legislation that would legalize recreational weed in New Jersey. A vote is expected Monday. Governor Phil Murphy and legislative leaders agreed on a plan, but lawmakers are not convinced. Uber and Pinterest are reportedly choosing the New York Stock Exchange for their listings. When they go public, both internet companies are expected to announce IPOs later in the year. Sources tell CNBC they've chosen the stock exchange over the NASDAQ as a venue for their listings. 3 number 1 seeds will play today in the second full day of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Virginia and Gardner-Webb, Duke and North Dakota State, and North Carolina and Iona here in the Midwest. A DuPage County man this morning is being charged, connected with a double fatal crash in Elgin. Adrian Velasco of Glendale Heights faces several counts, including reckless homicide and aggravated DUI. A judge has delayed sentencing for a man accused of plotting to bomb a Chicago bar after lawyers say the government may have withheld evidence that would have helped the defense of Adel Daoud. Blackhawks fall to the Flyers 3-1. NCAA tournament action. Yesterday, the Big Ten 5-0. Bradley ousted from the tournament, a loss to Michigan State. The news, a service of Staples. Right now at Staples, you can earn 100% back in rewards on your first in-store print and marketing service order, up to $100 for customers who have not made a full-service print and marketing purchase since 3/1/18. Exclusions apply. Ends 3/23/19. See store for details. Staples. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text TRY to 350-350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text TRY to 350-350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's TRY to 350-350.
On April 5th, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get in my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters April 5th.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Not sure where to go for wealth management advice and direction? It can be tough to find the right financial planner. Whether you're close to retirement or a millennial, you need to think about your financial future now. Sam Macaluso and Associates are ready to help you with your tax strategies, wealth management, and retirement planning. From college planning as well as business succession plans and tax strategies that deal with the new Tax Act, you'll get reliable and individualized service to address your challenges. As an accounting firm, Sam and his team's main goal is to help you preserve the wealth you've already built with efficient solutions to your accounting and financial planning. From tax preparation to planning and setting up accounts for retirement, the team will always take you through the entire process and help you make well-informed decisions. Schedule an appointment today with Sam Macaluso and Associates in Countryside to prepare for the April tax deadlines. Go to sammacalusoandassociates.com. That's sammacalusoandassociates.com. Don't wait. Start planning today.
7:37. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Al Verde.
Here's a look at traffic. The inbound Dan Ryan is jammed between 95th and 71st, but all lanes have been reopened following that earlier shooting investigation. The entrance ramps from 79th and 75th have reopened. And 57 inbound, that's still jammed from 103rd. Bishop Ford inbound still heavy from the Stony Island feeder. Ryan inbound also tight between Cermak and the Burn interchange, 35 in from 95th to downtown. Eden's good both directions. Kennedy in is 35 from O'Hare to downtown, 25 back out. Eisenhower 58 in from 390 to the Burn interchange, and 34 on the return trip. That's traffic. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, sunshine has returned for the morning. High 43 later today. Clear and 26 overnight. 36 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Dan and Amy, so what is he waiting for, Beto?
What do you mean?
Robert Francis Frost. What's he waiting for? Get all of your supporters together, all those enthusiastic millennials, and would you take down those barriers in El Paso already?
Oh, my God. Yesterday he was campaigning in New Hampshire, full-fledged, waving his arms, landing a 777, and said that there's no crisis on the border, Dan. That's why we should take down all the walls.
We do not need any walls. $30 billion, 2,000 miles long, 30 feet high. It will not be built on the international boundary line, which is the center line of the Rio Grande River. That wall will be built well into the interior, on someone's ranch, someone else's farm, someone else's home. You and I will be forced to take their property to solve a problem that we do not have.
How do you solve a problem like Beto? Look.
He's hyperventilating too.
Gosh!
Yeah, look, have some tater tots. Calm down. I'll tell you what.
Just take a little time to yourself.
Let's get John Hickenlooper and his mom, Beto, go off for a show and just relax.
A nice movie. Maybe one that's rated R this time instead of rated X.
For more on this, we're pleased to be joined again by Mark Morgan, former FBI special agent and also the Customs and Border Protection Chief for President Barack Obama. Mark, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
You bet, Dan.
So you heard what Beto O'Rourke had to say. He's a member of Congress. There is no crisis at the border. We can take down these barriers. We certainly don't need any more. And, will you just stop it already?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at that, I think this is why we can't have a rational, professional discussion about this issue, because you have individuals like that just refuse, based on his political ideology, just refuses to address and really acknowledge the facts. If you look at if you really closely listen to his statement, so what he says in there, partly what he says in there, that he's concerned that we could take some land because to build a barrier. Now, he's not worried about the fact that an illegal alien just a week and a half ago took the life of Bambi Larson, right? So he was here illegally, 9 ICE detainers, and the last breath she took, the last thing that she saw was an illegal alien standing over her, stabbing her to death, taking her life. He's not concerned about that. He won't acknowledge that, but he's worried about taking land. It's just absurd. And we could go, Dan, and we could go on and on again. Just fact after fact after fact. They just ignore it. This year alone, we're anticipating between 800,000 to 1 million illegal aliens coming to this country this year, and he says it's not a crisis. It's unbelievable.
And the decision this week by the Trump administration essentially to reverse policy because of ICE being overwhelmed at the border with respect to their facilities and where they can house people, going from catch and detain to catch and release and hope they come back for their deportation proceeding or asylum hearing.
Well, that's right. Yeah. So it's even worse, though, and I hope that the listeners are getting this. So catch and release has been happening already, right? So ever since judicial activism like Flores and just the broken asylum laws, unaccompanied minors and family units, remember, Border Patrol apprehends them, they turn them over to ICE, and then ICE has been releasing them. So kids automatically get released because of judicial activism. Other broken asylum laws and inadequate bed space have led to just family units already being released by ICE. So that catch and release has been happening for a while. Now, because the system is so overwhelmed, it's Border Patrol that's releasing them now. They're not, ICE isn't even picking them up because ICE is overwhelmed and they're overrun. And Border Patrol's stations are overwhelmed and overrun. So now you have Border Patrol releasing them right away into the interior United States as well as ICE.
And on that point of Border Patrol, just anecdotes out this week, but it speaks to this, how serious this problem is that you're describing. Customs and Border Patrol stopping 2 convicted child molesters trying to get back into this country in Arizona. So if we're doing catch and release with Border Patrol, then you're talking about despite what politicians say, let's get rid of the people in this country illegally who are convicted violent criminals. Now you're saying we're going to, catch and release pedophiles?
Well, so this is another key point that you bring up. You're spot on. So that's happening every single day, and it's been happening because, look, when you have orders that say, hey, you can't detain kids, we don't want to separate families, right? So what does that mean? So that means grab a kid, exploit that, right? So we have a lot of people that are fake parents, fake guardians to grab a kid, right? So they know that once they get here, they're going to be allowed into the interior United States. Here's the issue. We have no idea who those individuals are. There's no way in a day or so they're coming here. They have no papers, no documents whatsoever. We have no idea who they are because of our laws, because of judicial activism. Within the hours, we're allowing them into the United States. We have no idea who they are. And here's another quick point. So Yuma, Arizona, the chief patrol agent was just on TV the other day. He says his folks are overwhelmed in Yuma, Arizona. So he's probably devoting about 50% of his agents to the humanitarian issue, to the asylum seekers, to what I call daycare provider. Think about what that does to that particular area of the border at the time. His agents are pulled away from border enforcement to the humanitarian mission. The border is wide open. The cartels are exploiting that. So the other issue, not only are we allowing these people in that we don't know who they are with family and unaccompanied minors, but then it leaves the border even more unsecure. Wide open cartels are coming through. We don't know what the heck is coming through. It's absolutely a crisis.
So you have this catch and release, and then how many people actually show up for their court date?
Yeah, exactly. So it's even worse than that, Amy, because what you have is initially they come in, they claim credible fear, and that's a joke, right? We all know that's a joke. You say the magic words, you get in. Then you're supposed to follow up and file the formal asylum claim. So actually, there's about 40% of the original credible fear. They don't even file a claim. And then those that file, the majority of those don't even show up. And then the ones that do, the majority of those, it gets denied. So it's a complete, just horrible system that is abused. We know, so not only allowing these people in the United States, but we do so knowing that, one, they're not even going to file a claim, and two, the majority of people who do file a claim, it's denied. They know they're abusing the system. We still let them in. It's a complete joke.
Well, and then there's this other aspect, too, that out this week. Immigration Reform Law Institute, through FOIA, obtaining information that there are 645,000 illegal immigrants in this country who've already been served their final deportation orders. That's just from the top 4 countries of origin: El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico. 645,000. The cases have been adjudicated. They've received final deportation orders, and they're still here. So maybe Beto's right. Why do we even have a system? You don't get cases adjudicated on the front end, and even the cases that are adjudicated, there's actually no consequences associated with them because nobody can execute the final deportation order to return them to their country of origin.
Dan, you just summed it up. That's exactly right. That is the issue. And you guys have talked about this before. I know you had Tom Holman on here, a great patriot. I know him well. And what he said was great. And again, former director of ICE is, look, I understand ICE is overwhelmed too, and priorities are violent criminal aliens got that. But I think I agree with Tom when he says if they just took, a couple of months and they really focused heavily on that aspect, people who had come here illegally, they filed a false claim, they had received due process, right, and still said, nope, your claim is false, order removal, and they're still violating the law. If we focus on those individuals, we would absolutely take a huge dent in that incentive for them to come, because what you said, they know. You come, you set one foot in soil, basically you're here untouched. You basically have de facto amnesty because we're not enforcing our laws at all. That's something that needs to happen absolutely on the interior of the United States. But I tell you as well, real quick, what the president's doing in San Diego, we need to do along all 2,000 miles. And that being is somebody comes in and files a claim, whether it's at the port or in between the port, we need to return them to Mexico and have them wait in Mexico while their asylum claim is being adjudicated and being heard. We should not allow them into the interior United States.
And some of them are bringing drugs. I mean, in between the Windsor and Detroit, they caught, fentanyl that could have killed 85,000 people. So what's going on the northern border?
Yeah, so the northern border is an issue as well. So, I know we're focused on the southern border, and we should be. We have to prioritize. We have limited resources and et cetera. But let's not forget the northern border. It's wide open as well. The northern border really is completely wide open. I mean, there's no man-made physical barriers there. Border Patrol definitely needs more resources up on the northern border as well. And so as we're doing and we're having this dialogue about our borders, we shouldn't take our eye off the northern border. There's a real threat up there as well. And unfortunately, I think because what's happened in the southern border, that really occupies most of the dialogue. But the northern border is still an issue.
Speaking of incentives, how did you receive Senator Kristen Gillibrand's proposal this week to provide persons in this country illegally with Social Security benefits?
Yeah, see, one day we're talking about giving them driver's license. Then the next day we're talking about giving them voting rights. And then now we're talking about giving them Social Security. So let's just dissect that. I mean, not only do we have the incentives, right, that you talk about, both once they get set foot in the soil and then once they get here, they can stay. Now we're actually giving them more rights as a citizen. We're treating them as an American citizen. So basically what that's happening is we're giving them amnesty without Congress actually having to get involved. So it's absolutely absurd, and Congress is not doing their job. They're going to allow states to give illegal aliens more rights, which is de facto amnesty, while Congress can sit back and they don't have to do their job. I hope the American people are listening to this.
They are. He is Mark Morgan, former FBI special agent and the head of the Customs and Border Protection Agency under President Obama. Mark Morgan, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
You bet.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
We're back on the radio and getting bigger than ever.
We're the #1 Lincoln dealer in town.
And Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln Superstore, too.
Folks like our great deals, for sure.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by the paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Groupies?
All the Highland Park groupies we have.
Sure. Right, Al.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Well, I have groupies.
A rich fantasy life is important.
This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Oh, it's March, and for many of us, that means allergy season, and our friends at Balance of Nature have an incredible Madness in March discount that you'll want to take advantage of that I'll tell you about in just a second. But first, I have to tell you about the benefits of taking Balance of Nature. Admit it, we're all not getting enough fruits and veggies. Many of us go through the drive-thru for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. It's 10 servings of fruits and veggies in a single capsule. No preservatives, no dyes. And we all know how important getting the daily dose of fruits and vegetables is. It helps boost your immune system. And Balance of Nature is the best product out there. I spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard. He's the founder and creator of Balance of Nature, don't you know? He showed me the emails, played the voicemails, very passionate about helping people live better, healthier, and happier lives. And that can be you too. And listen up, today only, when you go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code AmyJ4. AMYJ, the number 4, AmyJ4, all one word, and you will receive 50% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Again, use promo code AmyJ4, all one word, when you visit balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have spring fever. Consumer confidence is up, and that means spending. We want folks to enjoy what they've worked so hard for, but don't forget...
Craig, are you trying to tell me something? I know. Retirement's right around the corner.
Listen, a new season is time for regrowth and building on what you already have. You don't need to do it alone if you have Wealth Management Group at your side.
Spring into action and make Wealth Management Group your go-to partner, and listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
One of the most frustrating aspects of running a business is dealing with technology. It's wonderful when it works, but what about when it's not working? IT, networks, computers. Yuck, you just want to run your business. And hiring an IT department is out of the question, or is it? For only $795 a month, you can eliminate the hassle of IT and computer issues with Turnkey IT. It'll be like having your own in-house IT department, but better. Turnkey makes it happen. Turnkey makes it secure. And they make it smart. You'll be set up for success and not have to deal with all the technical issues that really can overwhelm a business. Turnkey becomes your IT department and will help you with your daily IT issues. Plus, they'll set up preventative steps to keep your business going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so that you know where you stand with technology. Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I've probably been on it 2 years now, and it's been, honestly, a godsend. After you're on it for a while, you tend to forget the aches and pains and things that was going on in your body and your life before you started taking Balance of Nature. I get up, I go up and down the stairs, no pain. Hey, you know what? Thank goodness for Balance of Nature.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Did you miss the open enrollment this year? I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time that eliminates the mandatory maternity coverage. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other carriers. If you're over 50 and are covered by the Affordable Care Act, you're paying for maternity coverage every month whether you want it or not. In Chicago, the least expensive PPO health insurance plan under the ACA will cost $572 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $7,900 before your bills are paid at 100%. I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity coverage and lower your monthly premium to $278 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $2,500 before your bills are paid at 100%. That's a savings of $294 a month and over $5,000 with my lower deductible. For a free quote and to see if you qualify, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
Jim was a 48-year-old husband, father, and business owner. He understood the importance of life insurance to protect his family and business. Jim knew what happened with no life insurance. His own father died, leaving a wife and children with no financial resources. Jim vowed to have enough coverage. He purchased a life insurance policy from NCSF. When Jim lost his life in a tragic car accident, his family grieved. But Jim had planned, and his family and business were financially secure because of life insurance through NCSF. NCSF is a not-for-profit company that provides life insurance and member benefits that commercial carriers do not. Jim was secure in knowing he would provide his family with financial security. He also chose NCSF because of their commitment to give back to communities through philanthropic work. For Jim, NCSF membership was a great fit. Protecting your life matters to NCSF, and it should matter to you. Life insurance can make the road ahead easier for those you leave behind. Visit ncsf.com to learn about their life and annuity products and member benefits. Visit ncsf.com today.
Hi, this is Fred Dreyer, former Rams defensive end. Football season just ended, and you can bet teams are already hard at work scouting new talent for next season. But if you're running a small business, you need to know where to go to find top recruits. LinkedIn, it's where people go every day to make connections, grow in their careers, and discover new job opportunities. LinkedIn Jobs takes the time to learn more about who you're looking for and then recommends the qualified candidates you want to spend time talking to make a quality hire you're excited about. Customers rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires, and posting your job on LinkedIn gives you the best chance of finding and starting a conversation with your next star recruit. It's no surprise a new hire is made every 8 seconds using LinkedIn. So build your winning team by posting your job opportunity on LinkedIn and visit linkedin.com/solution. Get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/solution. Terms and conditions apply.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Well, our latest edition of College Beat, we got another guest. Lee Jussum is a psychology professor at Rutgers University. I'm still not used to Rutgers being in the Big Ten.
I know. I don't
or
like it.
Maryland, for that matter.
Oh,
especially after they beat Belmont yesterday. We're going to talk to him about his statement of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Is that going to be adopted by Rutgers or any other university? Not in the Big Ten. But we'll discuss it with him at 8:08.
And a real-life pet cemetery. Frozen cat comes back to life. But the irony is mesmerizing. We'll explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
A DuPage County man being charged in connection with a double fatal crash in Elgin. Dan Ryan back open after an early morning shooting. State police were investigating. Bradley falters and loses in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Syria wants it back. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Upset the U.S. will recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights.
I've been thinking about doing it for a long time. It's been a very hard decision for every president. No president has done it. This is very much like Jerusalem, moving the embassy to Jerusalem.
President Trump told Fox Business Network's Maria Bartiromo the move is not aimed at helping Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu win re-election next month. Fox's Simon Owen has reaction live.
Dave, Syria calling the Golan a precious piece of Syrian land and saying it's now more determined to liberate it through all available means. Israel captured the territory from Syria in 1967. Syrian allies joining the condemnation, Russia calling the statement irresponsible, while among Syrian adversaries, Turkey saying the move brings the Middle East to the edge of a new crisis. The EU says it continues not to recognize the Golan Heights as Israeli territory. Israel's Prime Minister has welcomed the statement. Dave?
Simon, President Trump also reiterated to Fox his claim the special counsel's investigation's a hoax.
This should never happen to another president. What happened to me, they came up with an excuse for losing an election.
And he again said there was no Russia collusion or obstruction, though House Democrats believe there was and have their own investigations. They also accuse him of stonewalling, not cooperating. 2 American troops were killed today in an operation in Afghanistan, but the U.S. is not yet providing details. In New Zealand, thousands gathered for an outdoor Muslim prayer service a week after the massacres in 2 Christchurch mosques. Thousands also attended a mass funeral for 26 of the 50 people murdered. Family members took turns with shovels and wheelbarrows burying loved ones. More than 200 miles up above us,
bag is now on the D-ring extender in the airlock.
Nick Hague starting a spacewalk with fellow astronaut Anne McClain, replacing batteries on the International Space Station. Next week, McClain will be part of a first-ever spacewalk with an all-female crew. This is Fox News.
We have sunshine, 36 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Traffic is finally being allowed back onto a portion of the Dan Ryan Expressway, shut down for about 5 hours this morning after a shooting investigation. A woman is reported in stable condition after suffering several gunshot wounds, according to police. A DuPage County man is being charged in connection with a double fatal crash in Elgin. Adrian Velasco of Glendale Heights faces several counts, including reckless homicide and aggravated DUI. A Chicago judge is expected to rule on whether to let R. Kelly travel overseas to perform several concerts to help the cash-strapped singer pay legal and other bills as he faces sex abuse charges. Illinois lawmakers are looking at 4 possible options for legal sports betting in the state. Chicago Democrat Mike Zaleski introducing a package of gambling legislation. One plan would let the lottery handle betting. A third option would focus on sports books at existing casinos. An endangered eastern black rhinoceros at the Lincoln Park Zoo is pregnant. The 13-year-old female will give birth to an 85-pound calf in May. Chicago sports, Blackhawks fell to the Flyers at the UC 3-1. NCAA tournament, notable upsets on day 1, 12-seed Murray State over Marquette 83-64. The Big Ten win 5-0. Bradley bounced by Michigan State. The news, a service of Farmers Insurance. At Farmers Insurance, they know every windshield collision has a unique sound. Beetle, bird poop, drone. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, more people were shopping at Hibbett Sports over the holiday quarter. The sporting goods chain is reporting sales at existing stores up 3.8% and stronger than expected earnings. However, Hibbett is closing about 95 of its stores as it changes its mix of retail locations and expands its online business. It will open 10 to 15 new Hibbett and City Gear stores. Its chief executive, Jeff Rosenthal, is planning to retire as soon as it names a successor. Tiffany's holiday quarter earnings are better than expected, though its sales were not as strong as the company hoped. Analysts at Wedbush are optimistic about Chipotle Mexican Grill. They see encouraging trends in the casual dining chain. Chipotle's stock is up 70% over the past 3 months. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Patriot Software provides cloud-based accounting software that is super easy for business owners and powerful enough for accountants. With Patriot's accounting software, business owners can easily invoice customers, receive payments, pay bills, and track the money in and out of their company without needing a college degree in accounting. And with Patriot Software's patent-pending cash-to-accrual toggle switch, the business's accountant can log in, view the books, and make complex entries to ensure the business has accurate financial statements. Easy but powerful. Everybody wins. Go to PatriotSoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
8:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Alverde.
Here's a look at traffic. On the Edens, we've got no delays. It's 19 either way between Lake Cook and the Kennedy Junction. The Kennedy into downtown, a 36-minute ride. 27 back out to O'Hare. Eisenhower in is heavy, 57 from 390 to the Circle, 44 in from Mannheim. Back out to 390, a 32-minute trip. Stevenson inbound, very heavy, an hour 14 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound, though, no delays. 55 traffic's moving well. Dan Ryan inbound is better, 36 from 95th to downtown. Outbound is fine. 57 and Bishop Ford now look good. Lakeshore Drive southbound slows between Irving Park and North Avenue. That's traffic. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
After a cloudy start, sunshine today, high 43. It'll be clear tonight, low 26. Sunny skies tomorrow, high 48. Cloudy with a shower on Sunday, and the high again at 48. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
36 at O'Hare, 37 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
They got the beat, the campus beat, the campus beat. Yeah, the campus beat.
Yeah, President Trump entering campus politics of sorts with the executive order he promised at CPAC issued yesterday to tie federal grant dollars from agencies like HHS, Department of Education, Department of Defense, to whether or not academic freedom and free speech on campus exists at a particular university seeking those funds. President Trump explaining, surrounded by college kids.
But even as universities have received billions and billions of dollars from taxpayers, many have become increasingly hostile to free speech and to the First Amendment. You see it all the time. You turn on the news and you see things that are horrible. You see people being punched hard in the face. But he didn't go down. He didn't go down. I said, you have a better chin than Muhammad Ali, and he had a better chin. And you see the cowbell scene. You saw that horrible scene. That was a disgraceful thing at a school, at a university. Under the guise of speech codes and safe spaces and trigger warnings, these universities have tried to restrict free thought, impose total conformity, and shut down the voices of great young Americans like those here today. It's great people. All of that change is starting right now. We're dealing with billions and billions and billions of dollars.
That's a great signal, and maybe it's already having an effect at Amherst College. Boston Herald reporting. Politically charged glossary for Amherst College students that disparages capitalism and dictates a broad range of PC gender terms, PC being a synonym for false, has been withdrawn after campus Republicans howled in protest, saying the Orwellian language guide threatened to stifle free speech. It wasn't the college's place to tell us what these things meant, said one of the college Republicans at Amherst. I assume that's like one of the three. Right. They were establishing the parameters of speech. Now, the flip side is you could argue that the unintended consequences of Trump's rather loosely worded executive order potentially present problems on the same order of imposing speech codes on campuses, because you've got what government agencies ostensibly in the business of deciding who is abiding free speech protocols and who is not. So there's some legitimate concerns as well, which is why I wanted to bring in Lee Jessom. He is a professor of social psychology at Rutgers University and was a fellow and consulting scholar at the Center for Advanced Study in the Behavioral Sciences at Stanford. I don't know what sport he pretended to play to get into Stanford to be a fellow there. We'll ask him. But he issued this statement at Quillette.com, which is a site I keep referring to. You should check out, make that part of your regular reading. My diversity, equity, and inclusion statement. Lee Jessom, and it starts by saying, I'm not afraid of social justice. I'm not afraid of eliminating discrimination. I'm not afraid of dismantling barriers to freedom, opportunity, and dignity. I welcome such dismantling, and I'm not afraid of people who are saying we need all of those things. But he goes on to define some of the words that are bandied about, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and see if we can attach some meaning to them for the purposes of advancing the dialogue. And we're pleased to have Lee Jessom on to do just that. Lee, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
So what prompted your diversity, equity, and inclusion statement?
So this is a new development in academia. In the last year or two, or maybe a little predating that, where universities have started requiring these diversity, equity, and inclusion statements as part of applications for professor positions, and also in some cases for promotion. And there is a lively debate within academia about whether these are benevolent or essentially a thinly masked screening device to weed out non-leftist academics from academia. I suspect, everybody is different and every institution is different. It is possible that there will be some places that use it in a benevolent way. You want to know, well, how has some applicant or somebody up for promotion, what have they done to help create a more inclusive university, whether at their prior university or here? But I suspect and would predict that it will in practice be used as a political screening device. And that is what motivated this statement. I made it really super clear in this statement that if what you are about is being inclusive, I am on board. I also made it really clear that people who say they are about inclusion are often about political exclusion.
Right. Well, are there any Republicans that work in your psychology department at Rutgers University?
So people don't wear their politics on their sleeve. So I don't know, I can't answer that. There's, 60, 70 faculty at Rutgers. However, there is so much evidence out there that especially on coastal, kind of high research-oriented elite universities, that the proportion of Republicans is infinitesimal. So there is a survey that came out within the last year or so of my field, social psychology, what it found was that in 2012, the social psychologists, about 300 social psychologists responded to the survey, voted 75-1 for Obama. Now, I'm not saying that's, I'm not here to advocate whether Obama or Romney. That's not the point at all. That's a personal decision. It's not my place to tell people what their politics should be. But what that does do is give you essentially a probabilistic response to your question, that the odds of there being Republicans at Rutgers is very, very, very low.
Well, right. And so perhaps the more interesting question, because we know the ideological distribution, generally speaking, both administrators as well as the professorate, a pretty good handle on that. The question is, are the likes of Jonathan Haidt and Mark Lilla and others that are of the center left or maybe even left but who believe in academic freedom and don't like the totalitarianism that is infecting college campuses, are they making any progress? Are they getting any attention? Are they getting some of your colleagues to rethink their position about what exactly inclusion means and what academic freedom on campus means?
Yeah, well, so I think, the narrow answer to the narrow question, what you asked was, are they having some success? And the answer to that has to be yes. I mean, Heterodox Academy started in fall 2015 with like 8 or 9 of us. Like I was one of the original members. Mm-hmm. And it's in the thousands now. It's like approaching somewhere in the vicinity of 3,000. I might be a little bit less, or maybe it keeps growing, so might have surpassed it. That's amazing to me, completely amazing to me, that it would have so many thousands of academics in a few short years. And Haidt himself is very high profile. He's, very successful. He has grant money. People know people in academia, other psychologists, and at this point, psychologists, other social scientists in the humanities. People know of and often end up having to, whether they want to or not, grapple with his ideas and his work. The book that he and Greg Lukianoff just came out with this past year, Coddling, really made a big splash.
Right.
Not everybody agrees with everything in it, but that's fine. That's normal academic process. So some success, yes. Has it succeeded at reducing either sort of threats sort of internal academic threats to speech and academic freedom? I'm not so sure about that. And has it reduced the continuing sort of drift towards an overwhelmingly left academy? No, I don't think it's done that either.
I wanted to get your help via your academic social justice translator in your piece on some fun phrases, because I aspire to be a bit of a wordsmith myself, and so I love interesting phraseology. Vindictive protectiveness. What does vindictive protectiveness mean?
Well, so one of the sort of emergent properties of the left in general, but especially the academic left, is the sort of identification of certain protected groups. And that's going to differ for different people, different contexts. It's not like there is a board of protected groups and they're all the same, but typically they would include racial and ethnic minorities, sexual minorities, religious minorities, most. And if certain days, again, how common, I don't have numbers, but in certain circles at certain times, if they believe that the well-being of either individuals or one or more of these groups are criticized, threatened in some way, and when I say threatened, I don't mean like physically threatened, because that's not acceptable to anybody, but having their values or ideas threatened, it evokes this sort of this vindictive punishment. A person who's, for example, proposes, in some circles, that maybe affirmative action isn't justified, could be ostracized, not because of their political view of affirmative action, but because presumably the only kind of person who would oppose affirmative action is a racist, a white supremacist, and a fascist.
Right. And so how has your statement been received on campus? Are you getting the Samuel Abrams treatment that over at Sarah Lawrence?
No, so I've actually written a little bit about the Sam Abrams thing, and it's completely terrible. And those kind of events emerge intermittently, but they are the tip of an iceberg that's not usually as extreme as what's happened to Sam. So the now answer, again, getting back to what you asked me, I really have not. I've gotten some fairly hostile pushback within narrow circles of, say, psychologists or social psychologists, but I've never gotten the kind of harassment and sort of vilification that Sam Abrams has gotten, that Brett Weinstein and Heather Hine got out in Evergreen, the riots that Charles Murray has been subject to. So somehow, thank goodness, I have not been subject to any of that yet.
All right, well, keep your head on a swivel over there in Rutgers. He is Lee Justum. He's a professor of social psychology at Rutgers University. His piece in Quillette, My Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Statement, which I'll tweet out, you should check out. Lee, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
It's so nice now that the kids are asleep.
Cheers.
We got the kids, our house, a stable income.
Checking off all the boxes.
But there's one box we haven't checked off.
What's that?
Life insurance.
We don't need to think about that now. We're young.
That's why now is the best time. Life insurance gets more expensive the older you get.
But I don't have time to do a blood test. It's such a hassle to meet with someone just to get a quote.
Not with Ethos.
Ethos?
It's a modern kind of life insurance. You just answer 4 quick questions at getethos.com and get a free instant quote. No pushy salespeople. And no medical exams required for policies covering under $1 million. You can apply online in just 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Let's do it.
But then what will we do for the rest of the night?
I'm sure we can think of something.
Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to getethos.com. That's ETHOS. GetEthos.com. GetEthos.com.
Oh, it's the madness in March, and we have a great discount for you for Balance of Nature, and we'll tell you about that in a second. But first, I've got to tell you about Balance of Nature. Are you taking it yet? You know, your 10 servings of fruits and veggies in a single capsule? Because we all know how important getting our daily dose of fruits and vegetables is, especially when it comes to staying healthy this spring. Don't wait until you start feeling sick to take Balance of Nature. Boost your immune system right now, just like I'm doing. And get Balance of Nature today. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, his wife and son. They all are very passionate about Balance of Nature, and they showed me the emails, played the voicemails of how Balance of Nature is helping change the lives of thousands of people, helping them live healthier, better lives, and happier lives. And that can be you, too. And today only, listen up, when you go to balanceofnature.com, use the promo code AmyJ4, AMYJ, the number 4, all one word. You will receive 50% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Promo code AmyJ4, all one word. And visit balanceofnature.com or call them at 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the buy one, get one free paint sale at Ace, our biggest paint sale of the year. Buy a gallon of our top paint brands like Valspar and Clark & Kensington and get the second free. And you know what else is free? Our help. With the Ace Extra Mile Promise, get everything you need to paint in one trip or deliveries free. Don't miss the buy one, get one free paint sale. Now through Monday, only at Ace. Limit 2, delivery subject to availability. Visit acehardware.com for more details.
Napa know-how.
Right now, only at Napa, AAA members get a 20% discount. So you can avoid getting stranded on the side of the road by picking up some quality parts like batteries, brake pads, and more. Meaning you can prevent the problem before it ever becomes a problem. Bravo! That's 20% off for AAA members. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 3/31/19.
AM 560.
The Answer. It's time for Animal Stories with Uncle Dan and Little Amy.
I like the braying ass sound effect. Seems strangely appropriate. All right, you start with your frozen cat.
All right, well, okay, you've seen Pet Sematary, right?
Yeah.
Oh, such a scary movie. And Stephen King wrote it because his daughter's cat was killed by a truck driver on this road in Maine near his home. Well, that's how the whole premise of Pet Sematary started. Well, the same thing happened 2 days ago. A cat was killed, they thought, on that same road, frozen into an embankment, and people from Public Works in Lincoln, Maine, found the cat frozen.
Catatonic, if you will.
Yeah.
When these guys brought the cat into me, the cat was frozen almost solid. It was stiff.
It was a catsicle, as we say. So they did something different. They're waiting for the Humane Society to open up, so they thought they'd keep it warm and try to thaw the cat. Put it on their desk.
Put it on the microwave.
I didn't think the cat had a chance to make it. I wrapped him up in my coat. We set him in the sun. He sat there, 2 hours on my desk in the sun until the Humane Society opened up. And when we took him over, I don't know how long he'd been out here. Sometime that night, he must have frozen to the ground.
I can't stand that accent.
That accent is so bizarre.
Pakakana kapot.
But it's the Maine. It's the Maine accent. It's a little bit different. So they brought it into the Humane Society, and they noticed, the thing looks a little thirsty.
His mouth looked very dry, which was why Meg had started giving him some fluids just through syringe, try to get some, fluid back into him. And she noticed that his tongue was moving. He was trying to drink involuntarily. That's a really good sign.
And so within the following hour...
Can we get to the part where he kills everybody at the Humane Society?
No, the cat came back to life. But here's the funny thing about this story. This cat has been separated from the other animals and is in this cage, and they showed a picture of the cat. To me, the cat looks possessed. Honestly, I don't think they should adopt it out, but everyone's, clamoring at the bit to get this remarkable cat in their house, and somebody even came forward and paid all of its medical bills.
Right.
And then the nice guys that took the cat and put it on his desk in the sun came back to see the cat.
Awesome. Cat looked 10 times better. 10 times better.
Yeah, don't even look like the same cat. It's a lot bigger than the one that we dug out of the ice.
They live fascinating lives.
Well,
I just hope
it was frozen.
I just hope Fred Gwynn doesn't come back to life.
Well, they asked
repeat
Stephen
this
King
all over
about it,
again.
and Stephen King said, "Sometimes dead is better." And then he added, "But not in this case, we hope."
It's because Stephen King is a weirdo and a creep. What is he talking about? Yeesh. All right, getting to actual animal lovers, dog owners. Most popular breed of dog,
Oh, yeah. The bulldog, I'm
according
sure.
to the American Kennel Club.
It's the English bulldog.
No.
Oh, is it what do you have, a Canoe?
Labrador retrievers, again, topping the list of most popular dog breed. It's fine. Popular isn't always better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where's a Ruby and Canoe?
The top 5 breeds: German Shepherds, Golden Retrievers, French Bulldogs and Bulldogs, rounding out the top 10, Beagles, Poodles, Rottweilers, German Short-Haired Pointers, and Yorkshire Terriers. That's right, because the Arubian Canuku is for the discriminating dog owner.
Oh.
The dog owner with taste, who doesn't just go along with what's popular. Hayek, don't worry, I got your back.
The Bernese Mountain Doodle, too, is becoming really popular. Have you seen those around?
No.
Because people don't want their dogs to shed in their house. So the Labradoodle was popular until that breed went a little cuckoo. And now everyone's, doing the Bernese Mountain
Hayek
Doodle.
and I are recluses. We don't want to deal with the white polloi. The run-of-the-mill dogs out there.
I want Hayek to come back in. I miss Hayek. And the presents she leaves for all of us.
Exactly. He.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Speaking of gender confusion, Jamie Shoop, a retired United States Army soldier who went from a man to a woman to non-binary, now back to a man, wrote this courageous piece in the Daily Signal we talked about last week. He's going to join us to talk about his experience amid the trans orthodoxy in this country. That's at 8:38. You want to stay tuned for him.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Blue skies, sunshine, 36 degrees. We're tracking a developing story in China this morning. Dozens have been killed in a massive explosion. Details are few, but we will provide them for you when they become available. Allies of Syria say they're outraged and are speaking out today over the president's decision to reverse decades of U.S. policy and recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Russia called the move a violation of some UN decisions. Israel, you may recall, fought for and captured the Golan Heights from Syria in 1967. Immigration authorities say the man accused of killing a Washington state sheriff's deputy earlier this week was in the country illegally. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement says the suspect entered the country on a temporary agricultural worker visa in 2014 and has no record of him ever leaving. Instagram will block anti-vaccine hashtags in a crackdown on medical misinformation. The platform made the announcement late yesterday after media outlets reported about the continued spread of anti-vax misinformation on social media. 2 NASA astronauts are taking part in their first spacewalk of the year. The flight engineers are replacing batteries. Traffic finally flowing on the Dan Ryan Expressway after it was closed this morning for several hours after a shooting investigation. A Chicago man going to prison for 5 years, convicted of possessing heroin with the intent to distribute. Terry Gillespie was pulled over in Dunn County, Wisconsin, in January of last year with over 100 grams of fentanyl-laced heroin in his car. Gillespie was transporting the drugs from Chicago to Minneapolis. Illinois lawmakers looking at 4 possible options for legal sports betting in the state. One plan lets the Illinois Lottery handle betting. Another gives sports leagues a cut of the money. Occasionally, we all have enjoyed playing a video game or few. Did you know there is a World Video Game Hall of Fame? Some iconic video games will end up in the hall. 2019 nominees include Candy Crush, Mortal Kombat, Microsoft Windows Solitaire, and Super Mario Kart, which I endorse very highly. Public can vote for your favorite by visiting the hall's official website. Blackhawks unable to capitalize and not move up in the Western Conference playoff race after a 3-1 loss to Philadelphia. They can move up over the weekend because they have a home-and-home with Colorado up next. NCAA Tournament Big Dance, couple of upsets on day one. Murray State knocked off Marquette, and in the Big Ten, Minnesota beat Louisville. So the Big Ten 5-0 on day one. Bradley knocked out by Michigan State. The news, a service of Farmers Insurance. Farmers Insurance, they know a roof can withstand a lot. One exception being an airborne car. Seen it, covered it, talk to Farmers. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
On April 5th, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
Then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters April 5th.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
8:38. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center. In for Jim, here's Al.
Here's a look at traffic. The eastbound Reagan is stopped up between Veterans Memorial and Route 83, where an accident has the 3 left lanes blocked. On 8094 westbound before Klein, an accident there, left lane is blocked. On the Edens, in the meantime, we've got no delays either direction. Kennedy inbound 46, O'Hare to downtown, 27 back out to the airport. Eisenhower ends in hour 1 to the Circle, and 31 back out to 390. Stevenson in hour 8 into Lakeshore Drive, 36 back out to 355. Northbound at First Avenue on the Stevenson, a rolled over semi reported on the exit ramp, and Dan Ryan in slows from Garfield. That's traffic. I'm Al Verdi. On AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunshine has returned. We'll hit 43 later this afternoon, clear and 26 overnight. Currently 36. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
By the way, nice use of the word ancillary.
Oh, can we put that on a magnet? Words with Amy?
On AM 560.
Your magnet will be Word with Amy.
The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we talked about this op-ed in dailysignal.com last week. And I tweeted it out, too, at Dan Proft. You can check it out. I also mentioned it when I sat in for Dennis Prager on Friday last week. But we've got the author of the piece. This is Jamie Shoop. It's an incredible story. And frankly, a courageous story told in this piece. I was America's first non-binary person. It was all a sham. Not just because of detailing all that he went through. And, I mean, you can't help but have great empathy for him. By the way, a man who served our country in the military for 18 years. Wow. But also because of what he is running into politically in the sort of totalitarian, cultural Marxist America in which we live, where you are forced to genuflect at the altar of anything that emanates from the LGBTQ plus community, such as it is. I was America's first non-binary person. It was all a sham. There's abundant online literature informing transgender people that their sex change isn't real. But when a licensed medical doctor writes you a letter essentially stating that you were born in the wrong body, and a government agency or court of law validates that delusion, you become damaged and confused. I certainly did. The best thing that could have happened to me, writes Shoop, would have been for someone to order intensive therapy. That would have protected me from my inclination to cross-dress and my risky sexual transgressions, of which there were many. Instead, quacks in the medical community hid me in the women's bathroom with people's wives and daughters. The medical community is so afraid of the trans community that they're now afraid to give someone an honest diagnosis, essentially what he's saying. And he talks about the traumas he has endured prior to and throughout this process of going, frankly, from living as a man,
then going to...
He's a man.
Yeah.
To woman, to non-binary, as validated by an Oregon court, to now a man. And we're pleased to be joined by Jamie Shoop. Jamie, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So,
how did this all begin?
You know, we should do something that really hasn't been covered, and we should go back to 2007. In 2007, I was rated 100% total occupational and social impairment due to symptoms such as gross impairment in thought process or communication, persistent delusions or hallucinations, grossly inappropriate behavior, persistent danger of hurting yourself or others, intermittent inability to perform day-to-day activities, disorientation of time and place, memory loss of names of close relatives, own occupation or name. That's the description of my 100% disability rating from the Department of Veterans Affairs in 2007. You're probably thinking that sounds pretty bad, and it is.
Can you go? Can you take one step back too? Because I want to get through the traumatic events in your life, but take the step all the way back to the first traumatic experience.
That would be my childhood sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, my childhood was terrible. I was abused sexually by a male relative. I was beaten by my parents. I was exposed to a lot of violence, and it kind of set me up for having PTSD later in life.
And then, but you just mentioned all those conditions and hardships. When did you convince yourself? Because before you became non-binary, you became a woman, and how did that happen?
Well, in 2011, 2012, I went through a severe mental health crisis, and I literally destroyed a property that I had bought. I got into a big spat with the builder. The builder wouldn't fix it to my satisfaction, and I destroyed it. And the builder sued me for $3.5 million. I ended up living in hotels for 6 months. After that, I ended up on the internet because I didn't want to repeat this thing again. And I started diagnosing, okay, what is wrong with me? Why am I acting like this? And I stumbled upon gender dysphoria and transgenderism and convinced myself that I was a woman.
And that was something that was, were you seeking, per what happened to you as a child, the exacerbation of that, as you described, after you were discharged from the military, during your service in the military? Were you in therapy? Were you talking to medical professionals to work through some of the issues that you described, I should say?
No. Basically, when the VA gave me the 100% rating for mental health, I was just on my own after that. It didn't come with therapy or anything like that. Yeah, so I was just cast adrift, and yeah, I self-diagnosed myself on the internet.
And then when you self-diagnosed, then did you seek a professional for validation or confirmation?
Yes, I made an appointment with a nurse practitioner, and I chose her because she could write prescriptions. And I had downloaded documents from the Department of Veterans Affairs Hospital, basically, instructions on how to become a woman. And I went to that appointment with the nurse practitioner, and I basically threatened her. I mean, she should have put me in the psych ward, but I was like, if you don't give me hormones today, I'm going to buy them off the internet. And unbelievably, she wrote me a prescription, and I started them that evening.
Wow. And did you ever consider getting the operation where you'd physically become a woman? Or try to?
I did. I was sold this package of beliefs that all I had to do was change over my operating fuel from testosterone to estrogen, get one of those genital surgeries where they transform my penis into a vagina, and then I would be the same thing as any other woman. That's the myth that I bought into with this. But I later came to see all the people that were having horrendous complications from these surgeries, and that was part of the turning back mode.
But this was being underwritten. The hormone that you were taking. So this is being underwritten by the VA. You're getting this from the VA, from the government.
Yes, the VA played I would say 80% of the role of getting me into this mess.
Do you realize being a woman isn't so easy?
Yes, I in hindsight, I do. I'm very regretful about the whole thing. I'm very apologetic for the harm I've caused to women. Yeah, that's a funny thing. I did a tweet recently, and I said the definition of gender is where you pick and choose the things you want from the opposite sex without having to take on the problems of being that sex.
Very good.
So, okay, so you're going down this path of living as a woman, and what turns you around, or not turns you around necessarily, but turns you off of that to then seeking an identification as non-binary?
Well, a couple of years into it, I just realized the total thing was a failure, that I was just basically a sex stereotype of a woman. The hormones had never did anything to make my body really look like a woman. I was basically a male with a wig on and a dress. And I just realized how phony the whole thing was.
And how did people treat you?
They treated me like a male in a dress wearing a wig.
So then you realize that, and then the thinking behind the decision to pursue really a change in the law that has now spread in the country to be designated as non-binary and have the state so sanction it via your birth certificate.
Yeah, I bought into a lot of thinking that sex is a spectrum rather than a binary, which I no longer support that thinking at all. And that was part of it. And the other part of it was, how do I get myself out of this mess that I've created respectfully? And that just seemed like the route to go. I regret it in hindsight. I've cost the taxpayers millions of dollars, and then I'm ashamed of the whole mess.
And you were hailed by the LGBTQ plus community as a hero for establishing this third gender option of, non-binary or X, marks the spot, as it were, until you weren't. Explain the being a political celebrity for that community and then not being.
Yeah, I mean, I support the president's ban against gender dysphoria, and I'm against transitioning children. I don't believe these surgeries are fixing anybody's problems, and they're certainly not changing anybody's sex. And once you voice those opinions, you go from hero to zero almost immediately.
And it's remarkable too. I mean, what is the reaction? What is the defense for what we see now on morning shows? 8-year-olds parading around as transvestites or transitioning, and parents even going that next step to actually physically alter their children because the 8-year-old boy says, "I want to be a girl."
I mean, I consider it as child abuse. Okay, but we have to look at the situation these parents are in. It's just like me. These folks have people with medical licenses telling them that this is what's good for their children. I mean, as hard as that is to believe, that's exactly what's going on. And worse than that, they're willing to turn child protective services loose on people who don't go along with this, which is another reason I speak out and I support these parents who refuse to do these modifications to their children.
How are you doing now?
An honest statement would be I feel like I just spent 6 years in Jonestown and made it out on the last plane.
Really?
The last piece of this, you went from the non-binary designation, and then you said, well, that's not a fit either, and then you returned to being the man that you are. How did that happen?
Yeah, the guilt of the situation just weighed on me more and more. I couldn't outrun my biological sex. It was basically, I guess we could compare it to giving me psych drugs. It was like these identities were like trying out new pills, and they never did fix my underlying problems. And I felt guilty that I was leading people's children down this path to make them believe they could escape their problems by taking on fake identities. I felt guilty about the millions of dollars being spent. And I just I have to tell the truth about this. And I returned to my birth sex.
Wow, good for you. Thanks for your courage.
You conclude your piece by saying, "I'm not the victim here. My wife, daughter, and the American taxpayers are. They are the real victims." What is your relationship like with your wife and daughter?
Unbelievably, my wife hasn't left me. I feel horrible about the things I've put her through. But despite that, she stood by my side the whole time, and now that I have reclaimed my birth sex, she continues to do that. So she deserves a big commendation for all of this.
I'd say.
Yeah.
What have you been able to connect with other people who have, through experience, come to the same position? I think of like Walt Heyer, for example.
Yes, I talk to Walt a couple times a week. Walt has become my spiritual advisor. Yeah, sadly there are a large number of us in this exact position, and much of the media doesn't want to acknowledge that we exist. Yeah.
But you feel like now you're in a stable place mentally, much better than certainly the last 6 years.
Oh yeah, it's much better to live as your birth sex and be recognized that and not be fighting society and living in a false reality.
He is Jamie Shoop. He was the first non-binary American. His piece, "I Was America's First Non-Binary Person. It Was All a Sham." It's really must-read stuff at dailysignal.com. Jamie, thanks so much for joining us, and thank you for telling your story and sharing it, and obviously we wish you the best.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I drive Lyft, and every once in a while I just mention this, and I say, I can only speak for me. I can't say how it's going to make somebody else feel, but for me, this has been the single biggest change for me for anything that I've taken. I've tried, smoothie diets and all kinds of stuff, but this really seems to work.
Experience the balance of nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, do you want your basement to be dry most of the time? If so, Permaseal is not the company for you. Permaseal hears story after story of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't want your living room or bedroom getting wet, do you? Then why would you settle with a wet basement? For over 40 years, the Permaseal team believes your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Roy Spencer started Permaseal back in 1979, and it's still a local Chicagoland family business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement to be dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Folks, you've heard me talk about Northridge Prep before and how much I love their paper and pen approach in the classroom. No one-to-one iPads, Chromebooks, nothing. Zero distractions. Well, we talked to a current Northridge Prep mom about the many schools that jumped on this tech bandwagon. Here's what she had to say. I've heard from many teachers that no matter how many web filters and whatnot you put on it, the boys always figure out how to get around the filters. The boys snap photos, download games. It's a huge distraction. I just don't see the benefit of computers in the class. Everyone jumped on that bandwagon. I think the schools with a lot of money recognize them as something positive, but I applaud Northridge Prep for not jumping on that bandwagon and really recognizing what's best for the boys. It's not backwards or antiquated. It's just common sense. Learn more about Northridge Prep at their open house on Sunday, April 7th. Seating is limited, so register online today at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
When do you want to spot the burglar? When he's casing your home or after he's already in? Ask John, whose Blink camera alerted him of burglars trying to break in while he and his family were home. Or Shannon, whose Blink camera caught a thief stealing packages. Both times, Blink video clips were sent to the police to help convict the bad guys. Blink motion-activated indoor and outdoor cameras are wire-free. They set up in just minutes. They run on a pair of AA batteries that last up to 2 years. If you're traveling, Blink's live feed option lets you monitor your home and check in on pets from anywhere using the Blink smartphone app. I love my Blink cameras in my home. No contracts, no subscriptions, totally affordable, and Blink works with Alexa. Blink camera systems make great gifts, and they're a brilliant way to monitor your package deliveries. I want you to visit blinkprotect.com/Mike. That's blinkprotect.com/Mike. blinkprotect.com/Mike. Blink is an Amazon company. You're going to love your Blink cameras. I sure as heck love mine.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3366 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3366. Enjoy.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right. We're so happy you made us part of your work week and your days. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical producer, and Quinn McCarthy,
our in-house erotic candle collector.
We're back bright and early on 5 a.m. Have a great, happy, healthy, and safe weekend. Here's Mike Scott.
We'll have sunshine for a good chunk of the weekend. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
Thanks, but no thanks. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. An airline in Indonesia has become the first to cancel an order